It is not an understatement when we say that TikTok is getting crazier and crazier with each passing day. People like Buddy Haynes, Duran Spidey, Lovely Peaches, and Paul Breach all emerged from this social media platform, making it a hub for deranged and creepy content creators. While we've dealt with creeps and outlaws emerging from this platform, we have never covered a crazy personality like Jae Bae Official, whose entire content is focused on traveling and being plus-sized. Throughout this video, you'll hear terms like body liberation, fat freedom, and fat icon a lot, so brace yourself for the worst. This young content creator with an excessive weight is all about self-love and body positivity. But the troubling thing is, she believes that due to her extreme obesity, she's entitled to get a free seat in an airplane. Not only that, she schools hotels and public places to expand their hallways to accommodate fat people. A short while ago, she blew up on TikTok for creating a petition demanding the FAA make travel accessible for plus-sized people. In this petition, Jae Bae demanded that plus-sized travelers should be given extra seats on flights.
Today, I want to talk about the potential benefits of if my plus-size travel petition was implemented. Firstly, plus-size passengers would no longer be forced to occupy only one seat on an airplane. By providing additional accessible seats, plus-size passengers would have the necessary space to be comfortable during the flight. This would help negate air rage and hostility. Secondly, the reimbursement policy for customers of size who independently purchase a second seat would provide financial relief and fairness. Clear communication of policies would ensure that customers of size have access to all necessary information, making the booking, check-in, and boarding processes more transparent and less stressful. The accommodations outlined, such as larger lavatories, alternative seating arrangements, and a dedicated section for customers of size, would enhance the overall comfort and accessibility of air travel for everyone, not just plus-size passengers. Lastly, employee training on accommodating customers of size would foster a more respectful and inclusive environment, and it would promote a positive travel experience for all passengers, creating a more welcoming and accommodating environment in the airline industry. Click the link in my bio to sign my petition today.
Her entire TikTok page is filled with videos of her complaining that the world is not accommodating and inclusive enough for lazy and fat people like her.
This was right before the incident I'm about to tell you about. On the first leg of the trip, the wheelchair assistance completely failed us. I was left struggling to be okay. There is a video about the incident on my page. That experience was already stressful and humiliating enough. So by the time it was time to fly home, I decided to have my fiancé push me in the wheelchair to avoid any more mishaps. Picture this, me, a plus-size woman in a wheelchair, pushing my suitcase with one hand while my fiancé did their best to steer. It wasn't the easiest setup, but we were managing. As we were making our way through the terminal, we walked by a group of flight attendants. At first, I thought nothing of it, but then I heard the unmistakable sound of laughter, directed right at us. They didn't even try to hide it. They pointed, laughed, and made snide remarks, and one said with the actual.
She also suffers from various health issues, including pulmonary hypertension, which often hinders her on oxygen support. Interestingly, this condition is directly linked with obesity. Despite her deteriorating health, Jae Bae has never shown interest in losing weight and can often be seen consuming junk.
That people are allowed to eat what they want without feeling guilty about it. Get over it.
Today we'll take a deep dive into the life of this crazy TikToker and discuss some of the cringiest things she's done online. Who is Jae Bae Official? So Jae Bae Official, or Jalen Chaney, is a 28-year-old woman from the United States. She is mostly known for her TikTok videos focused entirely on her experience as a plus-size, highly obese traveler. She likes to visit different places and explore things that are made especially for people like her. She created a TikTok account in 2019, and her earlier videos are not that problematic. In the initial days of her TikTok journey, she mostly created makeup tutorials and product reviews that resonated with people who were struggling with body image issues. She posted a few videos encouraging people to feel comfortable in their own bodies while sharing her own childhood experiences.
Stop, hold up, I need to say something right freaking now. So hold the damn phone. Press pause, here we go. Here's gonna be some truth. I have so many people that support me, love me, and tell me how proud they are of me and how far I'm gonna go, right? But you know what? It wasn't always that way. And actually, for most of my life, actually since age 6, I was told that I wasn't gonna amount to anything. I was told I was gonna be a drug addict just like my parents, that I was gonna have 3 kids by the time I was 17, and that I wasn't gonna do shit with my life. My whole life, they told me I couldn't, I wouldn't, I shouldn't. And so I, for a minute, believed, I can't, I won't, I couldn't even. But guess what? I did. I went far, and I'm gonna keep going far. And you are too. So if you have somebody in your life that's told you you can't, the only person who gets to decide that you can or can't is you. And that's on period, point blank. You can, you will, go for it. Do you, honey.
Knowing nothing in life, but I gotta get rich. You could check the throwback pics up in that bitch. I'm a girl, I do honey come on my outfit. House text quick, cause I ain't thirsty. See, thirst is mad. They want.
She also actively shared about brands and products that were made specifically for plus-sized people.
Hey there! So I was so excited to get some Q&As. I'm really excited to answer them for you. If you're talking about my crop top that is striped in the last few videos I made, the one where I'm like, girl, wear the crop top, wear the shorts because your body is beautiful, that top came from Torrid. Torrid is literally my #1 place that I shop. This shirt's from Torrid. Most of my clothes are from Torrid, but I also shop at a bunch of different plus size retailers, and I'm going to be making videos on those. So the shirt that you're talking about is from Torrid, and so is this one. Love them. You should definitely check them out. If you've clicked the link in my bio, you can easily shop Torrid. There's a link that'll take you straight to their page. I seriously love them. They carry up to a size 6X, which I think is very inclusive. They are seriously where I shop all the time, so you should definitely check them out. Click that link in my bio.
In one of her TikTok videos, Jalen also shared that people around her believed that she would amount to nothing in her life. Despite their discouraging views, she managed to complete her BBA in administration. In 2019, she also graduated from Western Governors University with an MBA. If you search through her oldest videos on TikTok, you'll see that instead of losing weight and living a healthy life, she was interested in buying things that would accommodate her unhealthy lifestyle and excessive weight. She's talked about things like plus-size mattresses, plus-size camping chairs, and even plus-size bath towels.
You guys had so many questions about my plus-size friendly chairs, my plus-size friendly camping chairs, so I wanted to tell you some information. These camping chairs changed the game for me and my fiance since we're both plus-size and we're a 6X. These have a weight capacity of 800 pounds. And although these only can carry 800 pounds, there are chairs that can carry up to 1,000 on Amazon, and they are linked in my bio. So if you're looking for plus-size friendly camping chairs or recommendations in general, check out the link in my bio. Here's just a closer look at the chair. Click that link in my bio to check out my plus-size friendly recommendations. Hey there, y'all. It's your girl, Jae Bae. I'm a plus-size content creator and travel blogger, and I am starting a series, y'all. It's about plus-size travel tips, my experiences, all the nitty-gritty, everything in between, y'all. Today's video, we're going to talk about towels and how you can make accommodations for yourself while traveling as a plus-size individual. Show of hands for any plus-size person that has gone to a hotel where the towel actually wrapped around their whole body. Oh, wait, that's nobody, because that is not a thing, y'all. Towels at hotels have never accommodated my big old body, and I am here to tell you what you can do so that you can make sure you have a towel that fits you comfortably everywhere you go. Are you tired of your towels fitting you like this? I mean, not fitting you, because that right there, y'all, is not inclusive and it's not what's up. We all know that plus size people deserve to live their best life, and when the towel does not wrap around you all the way, that is not us living our best life. So therefore, I've gone and researched and figured out how we can make sure the towels fit us wherever we go. So I went on Amazon, did some research, and I found these amazing plus size friendly towels that will actually fit plus size bodies. They're actually called like jumbo size towels, blanket towels, whatever you want to call it, but I think that they are going to be super accommodating, and I am going to stock up and bring them wherever I go on vacay now, especially next year on my body positive, fat positive Bali trip, y'all. I am going to bring as many plus size towels as I can, because everybody deserves to use a towel. Everybody deserves to travel comfortably and have things that fit them, right? So towels, yeah, the companies that are making these towels and providing them to hotels, and the hotels need to step their game up, start providing towels that are actually fit people, that actually fit all bodies, not just some bodies, because the majority of people on this earth are plus size, at least in the United States, and therefore we really need the companies to step it up. But until they do, check out these types of towels, y'all. I'm gonna have them link up in my bio. You can check them out and grab one. Grab a whole set. They're like 4 for $45, which I think is a steal. There you can go. There you go. You have one for your whole family, you, your loved ones, your friends, and everything in between.
Well, there's no shame in gaining a few pounds here and there. It becomes a serious problem when your weight reaches a point where standard furniture can no longer support you. When everyday necessities like chairs, beds, and even transportation need to be specially modified to accommodate your growing body, it's no longer just a matter of personal choice. It becomes a health crisis over and over again. She has posted videos complaining about small bathroom stalls, bar stools, bleachers, and whatnot. According to Jalen, everything should be changed and reconstructed so that people like her, who deliberately choose to stay unfit, should be accommodated.
Stuff Fat People Hate, Part 3.
Here's a suggestion. Shed some pounds, and you'll no longer be afraid of mundane things like plastic chairs. With crappy and nonsensical content like this, it's unnerving that she managed to get over 140,000 followers on TikTok. Not only that, she's collaborated with brands like Google, Hilton Hotels, and even McDonald's. On her blog, Jae Bae Productions, she's stated that she is very dedicated to the fat liberation movement, which fuels her mission to challenge discrimination, demand systemic change, and create a more inclusive society. Before we go ahead in her story, let's discuss the term fat liberation. What does it mean? So, Wikipedia describes this term like this. The fat acceptance movement, also known by various other names such as fat pride, fat empowerment, fat liberation, and fat activism, is a social movement that seeks to eliminate the social stigma of obesity. While there's nothing wrong with being a little chubby or overweight, we should all agree that obesity affects your organs, mobility, and overall health. There's nothing normal or acceptable about being excessively overweight because it's not a disability. People like Jalen, who really do not want to work out or change their lifestyles, are using this term to present themselves as a marginalized community entitled to get all sorts of free things. People like Jalen, weighing 600 to 800 pounds, are not normal. She even once shared a video using a mobility aid in a supermarket, knowing that she was not disabled and perfectly able to walk on her feet.
Accessibility is for everyone. No one should feel ashamed or embarrassed for using the tools they need to navigate the world. Your worth is not determined by your size or ability. You deserve to feel comfortable and confident wherever you go. Using mobility aids is a sign of strength and self-care, not weakness or defeat. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Don't let anyone else's opinions or judgments hold you back from living your life to the fullest. You are capable and worthy of all the things you desire. Your body is worthy of respect and care, regardless of its size or shape. You have the right to move through the world with ease and confidence. Accessibility is a human right, not a privilege. Let's work together to create a world where everyone can access the things they need without barriers or discrimination.
She also frequently demands wheelchairs in hotels and airports due to the mobility issues caused by her excessive weight. What makes this even more concerning is her perspective on the situation. Rather than acknowledging that her limited mobility stems from personal choices regarding her health, she insists on viewing it as a natural disability. She openly expresses entitlement to mobility aids wherever she goes, expecting the same accommodations as individuals with genuine medical disabilities. This mindset has sparked significant criticism, as many people believe she's exploiting accessibility resources meant for those who have no control over their physical limitations. While her content was very subtle at the start of her journey, it spiraled out of control and became extremely morbid as Jalen started getting followers. Her fall from grace started with some travel tips that were exclusively for plus-sized travelers. She also frequently shared her experiences with different airlines, telling people about airline companies that accommodated fat people.
Let's talk about what it's like to fly on United Airlines when you are plus size. United Airlines requires that if you cannot sit comfortably in one seat with the armrest down the entire flight duration, that you must purchase a second seat. When booking ahead of time, you can buy the second seat at the same time as your first for the same exact fare. If you do not want to buy a second seat and the option is available, you can choose to upgrade to first, business, or premium cabin class. United Airlines requires that you must be able to fasten your seatbelt with only one extension. And just to mention again, United Airlines does require that you're able to have the armrest down for the entire duration of the flight. So if you have two seats, obviously you have more room. The nice thing is, when you're going with United Airlines and you buy two seats, it does double the amount of checked baggage that you can bring. However, this doesn't ensure that you'll be able to bring twice the amount of carry-ons because that is determined by TSA, so check those guidelines. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.
Things that plus-size travelers hate. When the tray table can't come down, worrying about asking for a seatbelt extender. Having little to no room to move. Narrow aisles and bulkhead seats. Tiny airplane bathrooms. Worrying you're going to break the toilet. Getting pat down because you're fat. Tiny airport chairs with armrests.
Everything was great at this point, but then she started posting videos of things she hated as a plus-size traveler. The comments on this video were insane. People suggested that all these struggles should motivate Jalen to lose weight. Some people also commented that it was Jalen's own fault that she was facing all these issues while traveling in an airplane. This video literally blew up on TikTok and received over 17.2 million views. From this point on, Jalen's content became focused on complaining about things that were not size inclusive or accommodating for fat people. She had a problem with airplane toilets, food trays, seatbelts, airport chairs, airplane aisles, and literally everything but herself. She wanted the world to be changed. According to Jalen, airline companies should make bigger planes with bigger seats and humongous toilets so that people like her should feel included. Otherwise, they're just a fat-phobic company that does not cater to all human sizes. How absolutely insane this sounds. She also did part 3 of this video sometime later, in which she complained about boat ladders, rental cars, and even turnstiles.
Things plus-size travelers hate when traveling part 3. Boat ladders, pool ladders, all ladders. Always wondering if you're going to fit. Not being able to find clothes your size anywhere. Getting ridiculous comments about being a fat traveler, turnstiles, and worrying you'll get stuck. Despite the challenges, travel is worth it.
If you're that worried about getting stuck in turnstiles, maybe try practicing some self-control and losing weight. The fact that she refers to these issues as challenges is downright laughable. These aren't obstacles she was born with. She created them herself by promoting the idea that fat people should eat whatever they want without consequences. It's simple cause and effect. If you constantly consume butter-drenched meals and refuse to move, of course you'll gain hundreds of pounds and eventually find yourself struggling to squeeze through a turnstile. There's nothing surprising about it. It's just the inevitable result of her own choices. After these videos blew up on TikTok and Jalen started getting undeserved attention, she took the opportunity to name and shame a few airlines that did not accommodate her plus-size needs during the flights. According to Jalen, plus-size travelers should not travel with these airlines because they either have very cramped seats or non-inclusive policies. She named a certain airline, telling viewers that this company refuses to transport a fat passenger if their flight is full and the passenger demands a second seat.
As a plus-size travel blogger, I am never flying with these airlines. Let me just start out by saying these are all just my opinions. In no way do you have to listen to me, but if you were asking me for my advice, this is what I would tell you. So many of you have asked me which airlines you should completely avoid if you're plus size, and the first one on my list is American Airlines. So here are the reasons why I wouldn't fly with American Airlines. Their seats tend to be on the smaller size, and there's like horror stories of plus size people being like dragged off their planes, and that just isn't happening for me. The next airline that I avoid as a plus size person is United Airlines. Their seating is just a little bit smaller, again, kind of like American Airlines. And another airline that I avoid as a plus size traveler is Hawaiian Airlines, and let me tell you why. They reserve the right to not board or not transport a plus size passenger if the flight is full and they need a second seat. So that's why I would avoid them. If you want to know which airlines I think are great for plus-size passengers and just get more general plus-size travel advice, make sure to hit that follow button.
Well, this policy makes perfect sense to a lot of people. Of course, an airline is not going to deboard passengers if a plus-size traveler demands a second seat. And speaking of second and third seats, Jalen became obsessed with this idea in 2023. She made countless videos discussing how overweight and obese travelers should get free seats in airplanes, and how it's extremely unfair that fat people pay extra because of their size. She became so obsessed with this idea that she created a petition in 2023 on change.org, requesting all plus-sized people to sign it. The petition stated that the FAA should mandate that all airlines provide bigger seats to plus-sized customers, train their staff to cater to the needs of fat people, and even build bigger lavatories suited for unfit and unhealthy passengers. She even demanded that airlines should provide second and even third seats to obese customers if necessary, and they should do this completely free of charge.
So you want to hear my hot take on plus-size travel and why I think every plus-size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane? Then you better keep watching and sign my petition to make some real change. Let's just state facts. Plus-size travelers need more space. And many people agree that plane seats are too small, even for the average size person. As a plus-size traveler myself, I know how uncomfortable and unsafe it can be to squeeze into a tiny airplane seat. We are not asking for special treatment or luxury accommodations. We simply want enough space to travel comfortably and safely without fear of being discriminated against because of our size. It's truly that simple. If you agree that every traveler deserves to fly comfortably and without fear of discrimination, then go ahead and please sign my petition and share it with everybody that you know. Let's work together to make air travel more inclusive and accommodating for everyone. You assume that this petition right here is solely about getting free seats for people of size? Let me clarify. This petition is about ensuring that air travel is comfortable for everyone, regardless of their size. This petition is about plus-size people, tall people, people with disabilities, and so many more. However, as a plus-size traveler myself, I'm speaking on behalf of myself and plus-size travelers everywhere who have also experienced discomfort and discrimination while traveling. We are calling on the FAA to require that all airlines implement a clear customer size policy. This policy should include clear guidelines on accommodating larger passengers. Travelers of size often face physical discomfort and health risks when forced to occupy only one seat on an airplane. This petition is not just about free seats for travelers of size. It's about creating a more inclusive and accessible environment for all.
Shockingly, if you go to change.org and search for Jalen's petition, you'll find that it already has over 40,000 signatures. This is insanity on another level. You are demanding airlines to give you extra seats that cost hundreds of dollars per flight, reconstruct their lavatories, and expand their aisles only to accommodate a small percentage of people. The video in which Jalen talked about the petition received over 2 million views, and she instantly became the subject of online memes and mockery. However, this backlash and negative attention did not discourage Jalen, as she continued to fight for size inclusivity and fat equality. In her next video, she clarified that her petition was not just about plus-sized people. She added that taller individuals, people with disabilities, and people seeking comfortable travel experience would also benefit from her demands.
Today, I want to talk about the misconceptions regarding my petition. I recently started a petition that demands the FAA to protect plus-size travelers and customers of size, which millions have heard about now around the world. My petition is about ensuring that every individual has access to safe and comfortable air travel. It's not just about plus-size individuals, but also about individuals with disabilities, who may require additional space or accommodations to travel safely and comfortably. By having regulations in place that protect plus-size individuals, it would also benefit those with disabilities, ensuring that they have the space and accommodations they need to travel comfortably. Taller individuals also face many of the same challenges that plus-size travelers face when traveling by air. Legroom is often limited, and plane seats are designed for the average size individual. By having regulations in place that protect plus-size travelers, taller individuals would also benefit greatly. Lastly, there are individuals who physically take up more space regardless of their size, and they also deserve to have access to safe and comfortable air travel. By signing my petition, we are not only advocating for the rights of plus-size individuals, but for the rights of all individuals who face challenges when traveling by air. Let's stand together and demand that the FAA takes action to protect the rights of all air travelers. You can check out my petition by clicking the link in my bio or heading to change.org/plus-size travel. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. Make sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips and advocacy.
Well, people in the comments section of this video had very interesting things to say. One person commented, "You can literally get assistance on flights for disabilities. My Nana's gotten seats with more legroom for years because of her knee, free of charge. Another person said, that's where class travel comes into place. If you want to have a comfortable, appreciable space, upgrade from economy class. There is a solution already. These comments make perfect sense. Airlines usually have policies in place for disabled people, but expecting an airline to accommodate you only because you refuse to lose weight is outrageous and completely unacceptable. Airlines offer different classes for a reason. If someone finds economy seating too cramped and desires more space and comfort during a flight, they always have the option to upgrade to business or first class, where they can enjoy extra legroom and premium service just like everyone else who pays for it.
Plus-size travelers deserve better. This article came out just a few days ago, and we're going to talk about it in this video. All I had to do was read the title of this article, and I was automatically upset. A British Airway passenger was stuck in his seat for 3 hours after landing and had to be taken out of his first class seat with a hoist. What this passenger had to experience is unacceptable, and this is the exact reason why I started my plus-size travel petition this year. And as a matter of fact, they actually linked to the CNN article that talks about my petition in this article. I'm fighting every single day for inclusivity in the airline industry. That way, things like this don't happen to plus-size passengers, because this is absolutely unfathomable. This passenger did what all those people who say to do in my comments, just simply upgrade to first class, and this should prove as an example to you why that doesn't always work or apply. This man was stuck in his seat, unable to move for 9.5 hours. That is not okay, and nobody should have to endure that. That comes with pain, embarrassment, humiliation, and more. So if you agree and think that no human should have to endure this, go ahead and sign my plus-size travel petition today. Together, we can fight to make travel more inclusive and make sure that things like this don't happen anymore.
As Jalen's bizarre and outrageous videos gained traction, major news outlets also took notice of her story. Prominent platforms like Daily Mail, CNN, and the New York Post covered her controversial petition, advocating for more comfortable and inclusive air travel for plus-sized individuals. These reports detailed how Jalen demanded wider seats, free extra accommodations, and other unrealistic adjustments, expecting airlines to change their entire system to cater specifically to overweight passengers. Amidst this chaos, Jalen continued to upload videos to her TikTok account, preaching self-love and complaining about each and everything. According to Jalen, if airline companies refuse to make severe adjustments to their policies, it'll be nothing but sheer discrimination. Speaking of discrimination, she posted a video on May 14th, 2024 that caused quite a commotion online. In this video, Jalen revealed that while she was traveling, she faced humiliation and discrimination at the SeaTac airport. We already discussed that she has mobility issues, meaning that she can walk, but doing so often causes her extreme discomfort. She always requests wheelchair assistance while boarding the plane, so she would not have to walk up the jet bridge. Jalen claimed in her TikTok video that while boarding her flight at SeaTac Airport in Washington, the airport employee assigned to assist her completely ignored her and walked ahead, leaving her to struggle on her own. As a result, she was forced to walk up the jet bridge on foot, which she said caused her oxygen levels to drop.
My ordeal at SeaTac Airport will shock you. This experience I'm about to share with you is yet another example of why employee sensitivity training, a demand outlined in the plus-size travel petition, is desperately needed. I'm a plus-size wheelchair user, and on a recent flight to the SeaTac Airport, I requested wheelchair assistance, as I always do. When it came time for me to deplane, I saw the employee who would be assisting me with my wheelchair waiting for me in the entry of the jet bridge. As I approached her and she realized she'd be assisting me and not one of the smaller passengers, she started to walk away with the wheelchair while making comments about my size. Even when I told her I really needed the chair and needed her to let me sit down in it, she blatantly ignored me and kept walking. I was then forced to walk up one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop. By the time she let me reach the wheelchair and sit down, my lips were white. My oxygen levels had dropped and I almost fainted. This was my first time flying without oxygen. This woman just assumed I could walk and would rather me do that, instead of her having to push someone my size up the jet bridge. All the other attendants wheeled their passengers up the jet bridge, but my needs were disregarded. This is discrimination. Nobody should be treated this way. Share your story at change.org/size travel.
She narrated the entire ordeal in her video, pressing the fact that discrimination against fat people is a real thing. However, people who watched this video thought differently. One person commented on Jalen's video saying, "You're obviously able to walk. The fact that taking a few steps is that hard on your body should probably be a wake-up call for you. Humans aren't meant to be morbidly obese. Another person commented, I have health issues myself, which has deterred me from flying, going to sports events, etc., but I've never blamed anyone for it. Most of these accessibility services are complimentary, not mandatory. All these commenters have a fair point. Many people also argued that expecting a single airport employee to push someone of Jalen's size up the jet bridge is not only unreasonable, but also a potential safety hazard. Assisting disabled individuals is an essential part of airport services, but it should not come at the expense of an employee's physical well-being. If someone requires that level of assistance due to their size, alternative solutions such as additional staff or proper mobility equipment should be considered rather than placing the burden on a single worker. Some people also jokingly advised Jalen to request a forklift next time to escape this kind of discrimination. While Jalen demands the world to accommodate her overweight body, reconstruct everything, and provide her with free services and stuff, she herself repeats the mantra of food is fuel. There are numerous videos of her consuming donuts, cokes, and all sorts of rubbish while telling people to embrace food freedom.
Let's get one thing straight. Food has no moral value. It's not good or bad, it's just food. And guess what? Fat people are allowed to eat what they want without justifying it to anyone. As someone who lives with an eating disorder, I've spent years unlearning the lies society tells us. Lies like, you have to earn your food, that you should feel guilty for enjoying it, that you have to work it off later. None of that is true. The truth is, food is fuel, food is joy, and food is connection. And fat people deserve to experience all of that without shame or judgment, period. Here's another hard truth. Shame isn't a weight loss plan. Judgment doesn't make anyone healthier. And your unsolicited opinions about my food choices, they don't belong here. Fat people don't owe you diets. We don't owe you weight loss journeys. We don't owe you a damn thing. We're allowed to just exist and enjoy life while we're at it. So if my eating offends you, that's your problem, not mine. I refuse to shrink my body or my appetite to make you comfortable. My body, my rules, my food, end of story. It's that time of year again when the diet industry starts pushing those new year, new you promises. Let me tell you something. You don't need to change a damn thing. I'm not here for any of that. No, I won't be joining your New Year's resolution diet plan. I'm all about embracing food, freedom, and that includes eating whatever the heck I want. The diet industry wants you to believe you need to change your body to have a great year. Well, guess what? You're already great, and so is your body. I don't need to punish myself with restrictive diets or guilt over enjoying food. Food doesn't have a moral value. So let's ditch the diet culture and celebrate ourselves instead. We don't need to change to enjoy life. We're already living it to the fullest. No resolutions, just real, unapologetic joy. Because this year, we're choosing freedom. Freedom from the lies, the guilt, and the toxic diet culture. We're here for the good food, the good vibes, and all the happiness we can get. You're perfect just as you are, and that's worth celebrating every damn day.
This extremely unhealthy lifestyle is clearly taking a toll on Jalen as she struggles with multiple health issues. She is frequently seen using oxygen support in her videos, which significantly impacts her mobility and overall quality of life. When questioned about her constant need for oxygen, Jalen explained that she suffers from pulmonary hypertension, a condition that causes breathing difficulties, chest pain, and dizziness.
Hey there, thanks for asking this question. I actually get this question all the time, especially being somebody in a larger body. A lot of people assume that I have oxygen because of my weight or something like that. The reason I actually wear oxygen is because I have a rare lung disease. It is called pulmonary hypertension, not to be mistaken with high blood pressure. It is an actual lung disease that affects a lot of people. Weight is not really a factor that goes into it. It affects a lot of babies. It affects people of all ages, and they don't really know what causes it. So I wear oxygen because my oxygen levels don't stay high unless I'm wearing it. And so yeah, I have pulmonary hypertension, rare lung disease, which is why I wear oxygen.
However, while Jalen insists that her condition is unrelated to her excessive weight, medical sources indicate that maintaining a healthy body weight can significantly alleviate the symptoms of pulmonary hypertension. Despite facing severe health challenges and mobility limitations, Jalen remains adamant about refusing to lose weight and instead attempts to normalize her dangerously unhealthy lifestyle. If she's choosing to stay obese and unhealthy, it is entirely her own decision. However, it's extremely unfair of her to expect the world to accommodate her nonsensical needs and fulfill her insane demands. If her infamous petition amused you, what you're about to hear next will certainly blow your mind. In October 2024, Jalen uploaded a new video, shifting her focus from airline companies to hotels. In this absolutely unnerving video, Jalen listed numerous things that hotels should do to ensure all fat people enjoy a comfortable stay at their facilities. These suggestions or demands were absolutely insane and made zero sense. As if wanting free seats in an airplane was not enough, Jalen now wanted hotels to expand their hallways and rebuild their elevators to make them more spacious. Apart from that, she demanded bigger chairs, sturdier beds, and luxurious bathrooms.
These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests. Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity. Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious. Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes. Number 6, provide pool lifts and handrails at the entry of the pool. Number 7, hotel restaurants should have roomy seating options. Number 8, offer larger beach and pool seating. Number 9, hotels should provide size-inclusive bathrobes. And hotels should also provide bath sheets or plus-size friendly towels so that travelers of all sizes and abilities can use them comfortably. And last but not least, display clear and accurate information on these amenities on hotel websites. Include weight limits, seat dimensions, and things like that. By implementing these size-inclusive hotel amenities, hotels can become more inclusive and accommodating. Be sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips.
If hotels were to seriously consider implementing these demands, they would have to invest millions of dollars, not just adding in a few minor accommodations, but in completely overhauling their infrastructure. This would mean reconstructing entire building layouts to cater to a very small percentage of people, which is simply not practical and highly unnecessary. While it is understandable that sturdier, more comfortable chairs without armrests could be beneficial for individuals with disabilities, many of these other demands Jalen has listed are highly unrealistic. Expecting hotels to install oversized beds in every room just to accommodate a small percentage of people is completely unreasonable. Hotels are designed to cater to the general public, and making drastic changes for a niche group would be financially and logistically impossible. Beyond that, Jalen also expects hotels to reconstruct their entire buildings by widening hallways and expanding elevators. Does she even realize the astronomical costs this would incur? How would hotel chains, especially historic buildings or small boutique hotels, even go about making such extensive renovations? And the list of demands does not stop there. Jalen insists that hotels should provide larger bathrooms, adjustable shower handles, raised toilets, handrails near pools, larger beach seating, and even special bathrobes and towels tailored to accommodate extremely plus-sized guests. While accessibility is important, these requests go far beyond what is reasonable, turning standard hospitality into an unrealistic expectation. Apart from all these things, she also wants hotels to communicate these amenities on their websites. So, aside from booking details, hotels should also mention the weight capacity their beds can take, the dimensions of their chairs and seats, and the size of their hallways. If this is not insane enough, Jalen next goes about targeting restaurants, telling them a bunch of things they need to change about their seating arrangements to accommodate fat people.
If you've ever been uncomfortable in a restaurant because of your size, I know the struggle, and that's why I'm making today's video. Today's video is all about how restaurants can be more size inclusive and accessible for people of all sizes and abilities. Here are my 10 solutions for how restaurants can create a more inclusive environment. Solution number 1, comfortable seating. Restaurants should provide spacious and sturdy chairs without armrests so that people of all sizes can dine comfortably. Solution number 2, flexible table arrangements. Solution number 3, accessible restrooms. Solution number 4, reservation flexibility. Allow guests to request seating preferences during the reservation process. Solution number 5, provide key information on your website. Solution number 6, ensure that your tables are not secured to the ground. Solution number 7, offer more room in booth seating. Solution number 8, staff training. Solution number 9, outdoor dining. If you've got an outdoor dining area, make sure you have some chairs without armrests. And last but not least, solution 10, showcase photos. Consider showcasing photos of your typical seating and table setups on your website.
Throughout this video, the main concern Jalen raises is uncomfortable and small seating in restaurants. Well, we've heard Jalen complain about cramped seating, uncomfortable chairs, and non-sturdy benches at least 1,000 times in this short documentary. It's almost like she can't fit anywhere, whether it's an airplane seat or a restaurant booth. It's high time that people like her, who are actively waving the flag of fat acceptance and body liberation, realize the fact that the world does not revolve around them. If they are unable to fit anywhere, they probably need dieting and physical exercise rather than giant chairs. Jalen, in her quest to make fat liberation a thing, has gone completely insane. She's even introduced a certification, especially for fat people, which will allow people like her to easily access plus-sized friendly places. Yes, you heard that right, a certification for fat people. If this sounds unbelievable, just read about it in Jalen's own words. The idea of a fat certification raises a lot of questions. Who decides what qualifies as fat-friendly? And most importantly, how far does this go? Should every industry, from airlines to theme parks, be forced to redesign their spaces to accommodate a tiny percentage of the population that refuses to make healthier choices? The entitlement here is through the roof. Taking her self-appointed mission even further, Jalen has even created a GoFundMe page, urging people to donate money so she can continue her work in representing the fat community. She claims that these funds will allow her to push for more inclusivity and accessibility for plus-sized individuals. However, many people are skeptical of her intentions, questioning whether she truly aims to help others or if she is simply using her platform as a way to gain financial support without making meaningful contributions.
Hey friends and future allies, I'm Jae, a passionate advocate for fat liberation. For years, I've been fighting against the discrimination fat people face in travel, healthcare, mental health, and beyond. This mission is deeply personal to me because I know what it's like to be unseen and unheard. I've poured my heart and soul into creating resources, sparking conversations, and so much more to amplify our voices and demand the respect we deserve. But I can't do it alone anymore. This work has required immense sacrifices, time, energy, and sometimes my own well-being. Now, I'm reaching out to you for help. Your support can make a tangible difference, not just for me, but for everyone in the fat community. With your contributions, I can continue creating impactful content, organizing events, and driving systemic change toward a more inclusive world. Together, we can empower people to live unapologetically and dismantle the barriers that hold us back. Whether it's a donation, sharing this message, or simply standing with us, every action brings us closer to the world we all deserve. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's make this world better together.
A person commented under Jalen's video saying, this is an honest question, but you don't actually list what you've done or show it. That would go a long way to showing what you mean to do. Saying this in a 1-minute video really isn't enough given what you're asking. As someone who weighs more than you, I kind of see a lot more than most. But at the same time, I don't expect people to take my word for it on just that alone. You kind of need to show what you've done for others. This person has an extremely valid point. While Jalen constantly talks about being a fat icon and a fat activist, she has not done any real thing for the fat community to date, except for just blabbering on the internet and making unreasonable demands. In fact, people like Jalen, who promote the idea of being unfit and unhealthy as acceptable, are actually harming society. There are numerous overweight influencers on TikTok who are pushing the concept of fat acceptance with their extremely problematic videos. Watch these TikToks, for instance.
I hate when people say that wheelchairs are only for people who need them.
Without
Without me, my wheelchair is useless. Without my wheelchair, I am useless.
Because when they say that, what they mean is wheelchair users are for people who are paralyzed. But not everyone who is a wheelchair user is paralyzed. I think we should do away with strollers. Because toddlers can stand.
Get in there.
You know why we use strollers? Because we do need them. We need them. And you know what? Some adults need strollers too. And that stroller is a wheelchair.
It's like riding a bull, you gotta lean with it.
What is your commitment to making disabled people and fat people suffer all the time?
I wanna go home.
Because life sucks, okay? And if it makes a difference between you going outside and not going outside, use the fucking wheelchair and go outside. If you actually cared about people's health, you would stop discrediting that.
Welcome to a day in the life of a fat activist. I start the day off feeding my cat some treats because she needs to know that unless she's fat, I won't love her. Then I took a bath because I am far too lazy to stand and need to preserve all the calories that I can for the day. Then I filmed some TikToks, making sure to glorify obesity and show everyone how cool and trendy it is to be fat. On my way to the doctor's, I stopped at Dunkin' and got the sugariest coffee possible and ate 24 donuts. At the doctor, I made sure he knew that I knew more than him, and I berated him over any medical advice or testing he wanted to do. After that, I headed to my yoga class, where instead of taking the class, I sat in the back and yelled at everyone, telling them to stop exercising and to get fat instead. Because being skinny is bad. Cheers. Stay fat, y'all.
The fat acceptance movement started with good intentions. It was meant to fight against body shaming and help people feel confident in their own skin. But somewhere along the line, it took a dangerous turn. Instead of encouraging people to love themselves while also making healthy choices, it now promotes the idea that extreme obesity is perfectly fine, and even something to be proud of. The reality is, being severely overweight comes with serious health risks like heart disease, diabetes, and joint problems. Pretending otherwise doesn't change the facts, and normalizing an unhealthy lifestyle only leads more people to suffering in the long run. Another major issue with fat acceptance is that it shifts the blame away from personal responsibility and onto society. Instead of acknowledging that weight gain is often linked to poor diet and lack of exercise, activists demand that airlines, hotels, and public spaces change everything to accommodate them. While accessibility for people with disabilities is crucial, expecting businesses to install oversized seats, remodel entire buildings, and provide special treatment just because someone refuses to lose weight is unreasonable. It sends the message that personal choices don't have consequences, and that the world should adapt to unhealthy lifestyles instead of encouraging healthier habits. Perhaps the most harmful effect of fat acceptance is how it influences younger generations. Social media is flooded with influencers who glorify being overweight and dismiss any health concerns as fat phobia. This can be increasingly misleading, especially for teenagers and young adults who might start believing that obesity has no downsides. Instead of inspiring people to take care of their bodies, this movement encourages them to double down on unhealthy habits while attacking anyone who suggests that losing weight could improve their quality of life. Accepting your body is one thing, but promoting a lifestyle that leads to chronic illness and early death is another. Tell us what you think about Jalen and her story in the comments section below. Do you think her demands are valid, or do you find her responsible for promoting unhealthy ideas? We'll highly appreciate your opinions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, click the bell icon so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video.
Every single person who has ever bullied me, I don't think that they deserve to live or to breathe. And that includes every single person on ED Twitter who has bullied me or mentioned me or reposted anything of mine. All of you, I personally think you should drop. So now I'm not gonna support you. Cool. Guess what? Newsflash, I do not give two f***s if you support me or not.
TikTok is a wild place, a digital circus where the weird, the wonderful, and the downright unhinged fight for a few seconds of your attention. And in the middle of this madness stands Marissa Matthews, a creator who brings more than enough chaos for the entire platform. Hailing from Ottawa, Canada, a city that somehow also birthed Foodie Beauty, Marissa quickly made a name for herself. Not for her jewelry, not for her art, but for her sermons on body acceptance and positivity. On paper, it sounds noble, a rallying cry for self-love in a world obsessed with unattainable standards. But in practice, the message often boils down to this. If you don't like fat people, you're fat-phobic, trash, and you deserve the absolute worst life can throw at you. Nuance? She's never heard of it. Marissa crowned herself a warrior for fat activism, body positivity, and gave herself the unfiltered right to tell you that your opinion is garbage unless it explicitly mirrors hers.
You everybody today.
As righteous as her mission might seem in a TikTok bio or an Instagram caption, the reality is a lot messier. Somewhere between the preaching and the screeching, the mission got lost, sucked into a whirlpool of entitlement, cringe, and pure unhinged chaos. What started as empowerment morphed into antagonism, turning Marissa into one of the most polarizing, if not the most hated, fat activists on TikTok. With over 5.5 million likes, 4 million in just her first year alone, Marissa didn't just join TikTok, she bulldozed through it like a bull in a china shop. Body positivity, according to her, is not a buffet everyone's invited to. It's her domain, her battlefield, and if you're not in her weight class, you're just an intruder. She's loud, she's proud, and she delivers all educate you energy with the warmth of a Tim Hortons tantrum and the grace of a middle finger. Her fans worship her for sticking it to fat phobia, while her critics see nothing but a walking, yelling victim complex, the human embodiment of every cringe compilation you've ever hate-watched at 2 a.m.
So I sent that last night. I wake up, he read it, but didn't say anything. So I type, nothing? Not even 2 minutes later, he deletes me. Aww. Poor little boy child who doesn't know how to handle an independent woman who knows her worth. And because I'm a petty motherfucker, I messaged this one.
But here's the thing. Marissa isn't some polished influencer selling self-love and pastel packaging. Her Ottawa upbringing didn't create a role model, it created a fighter, and not the inspiring kind. She stormed into the fat activism space, not to share it, but to gatekeep it, shutting the doors on anyone she felt didn't belong. Along the way, she juggled a side hustle selling jewelry and doodles, bragged about betting 4 guys in a week to break stereotypes, then turned around and played the oppression card when TikTok clapped back by banning her for telling haters to die. Oh, and let's not forget her mom, ready to threaten lawsuits faster than you can say defamation.
Hi guys. So there's this stereotype and stigma when it comes to fat people about not being desired or romantically. And this is a stereotype. I have talked about this before. I have talked about my active bedroom life. And like, for example, this week, 4 different guys. Next week, I've got 2 on the line. And like, when I talk about this, a lot of people are like, well, it's not right to brag about all these one-night stands you're having. And one thing that I don't think that people comprehend, because it goes along with the stigma that fat people are not desirable, is that all of these people that I saw this week and that I'm going to see next week are not one-night stands. These are guys who I have relations with.
By 2023, the walls were closing in. Multiple bans, a bleeding follower count, a privatized account, and a reputation in free fall. Marissa's empire wasn't just crumbling, it was imploding. But if you asked her, none of it was her fault. It was the algorithm. It was the haters. It was society. It was anything except her own endless stream of venom. She's a TikTok preacher who can't stop cursing out the choir, a boundary queen who flips tables when her own aren't respected. From meltdowns at service counters to dating app disasters, Marissa's saga is less a journey of growth and more a masterclass in self-destruction. And today we're diving deep into it all. The rise, the rants, the inevitable reckoning. This is Marissa Matthews, raw, unfiltered, and unraveling before our eyes. And trust me, once you start watching, you won't be able to look away. Marissa's story is one with a lot of different small to large controversial moments. Many include calling out guys that have tried to have a relationship with a big, strong, independent white woman from Canada. You already see how that is a lot. But yeah, the heart wants what it wants. Without further ado, Let's now dive into the extra juicy details.
I don't give two f***s. I do not care if their original comment was fatphobic anymore. You know what I care about? The fact that I blocked them and I said no to them, and then they created multiple accounts to continue talking to me and
So Marissa Matthews didn't just stumble into TikTok stardom. She crashed through the door like a caffeinated wrecking ball. Picture this. It's 2020. The world's a mess, and here's this auto chick barely out of her mid-20s filming herself in what looks like a basement lair. No makeup tutorials, no dance challenges, just raw, unfiltered Marissa, sipping Tim Hortons and grumbling about life. She's not your typical influencer glow-up story, and that's the point. Before the bans, the blow-ups, and the whole I'm a victim circus, Marissa was just a regular nobody with a phone and a grudge. And honestly, that's where the magic started.
is that people not always know that fat shaming happens, or that fat shaming can follow through and become discrimination and fat.
And her pre-TikTok life isn't some epic saga. She's not pulling a rags to riches arc here. She's from Ottawa, Canada's capital of bureaucracy, where the most exciting thing is usually a parliamentary debate about maple syrup tariffs. There's no fancy job, no corner office vibes. She's a self-proclaimed artist, peddling handmade jewelry and doodles online. Like an Etsy hustle, but make it chaotic. She's got no 9-to-5 grind, just a general vibe of, I'm too tired to cook, past the Tims. She's open about her depression, drops it in casually like it's no big deal, and that rawness, it's what pulls people in. Before the algorithm crowned her, Marissa's just a fat girl with a chip on her shoulder, and she's not afraid to show it. If you enter the TikTok setting in 2020, the app's blowing up, and Marissa sees her shot. Her earliest videos, while seem messy and unpolished, were actually kind of brilliant. She's not out here lip-syncing to Dua Lipa's latest hit. She's staring down the camera, spitting truths about being fat in a world that hates it, making statements like, I'm not your before picture. She snaps and bam, people vibe with her just like that. She's not preachy yet, she's just real. She'll vent about trolls, flex her art, or grumble about her day, all with this sarcastic edge that's like daring her fans and other viewers to hate her. And guess what? They don't. By early 2021, she's clocking 4 million likes. 4 million! And her follower count's spiking faster than a sugar rush. It wasn't a fluke or anything like luck. It was looking like a takeover. Here's where it gets juicy. Marissa didn't just want to ride the body positivity wave, she's hijacking it. She's not here to hug it out with skinny girls crying over stretch marks and the other small skinny girl problem. She's gatekeeping hard. This movement's mine, she's basically saying to the other girls. And her fans? They're here for it. She's preaching fat activism like it's gospel, calling out systemic fat phobia, citing instances where doctors are dismissing her. Clothes are not fitting, just the usual crap that fat folks deal with. It's relatable as hell if you're in her shoes, and she's got this fire that's magnetic. She's not asking for permission, she's demanding space, and TikTok's handing it over on a platter. By March 2021, she's now a name, a force, a frickin' phenomenon. Now let's talk a little about the Marissa vibe, because this is where she locks in her crown. She's not your regular soft-spoken activist with some pastel aesthetic. No. She's loud, crass, and dripping with condescension. She's like a teacher who hates her students but really loves the paycheck. She'll hop on a video and say stuff like, I'm here to educate you, then proceed to drop an F-bomb and a smirk. It's not a subtle hit, it's a sledgehammer of a hit.
And it's just so funny how ignorant skinny people are. Like, the influencer made a mistake, educated herself, yet so many people in the comment section are still not getting it. Like, this who I'm arguing with, she's making all the regular fat-phobic assumptions at all.
She's also got this mix of, I'm oppressed and you are dumb for not knowing that, or even if you disagree in the slightest. And it's a total power move, but her fans call her bold, while her haters call her a bully. Either way, it's working. Her comments are a war zone of, Yas Queen, and who hurt you? And she's thriving in the chaos. This persona, it's gold. She's unapologetic, fat and proud, she says, and you better believe it. She's not begging for acceptance. No, none of that. If anything, she's daring you to reject her, daring you to say she's making you uncomfortable or that you do not agree with all of her ideas and ridiculous takes on how fat people should be treated, so she can pounce on you and hamper you with allegations of fat phobia. In one clip, she's ranting about a nurse who told her to eat less fatty foods. Her response? It's like a child throwing a tantrum. F off, I know my body, and it's viral in just a few hours. Another, she's mocking skinny girls and body positivity hashtags. This ain't for you, and the likes pour in. She's got this sarcastic drawl, like she's half joking, half ready to fight, and it's catnip for TikTok's drama-hungry crowd. By mid-2021, she's not just a creator, she's a brand, a loudmouth legend with a following that's eating right out of her hand. But she's not all rants, though. Let's give her some credit. Marissa's art hustle is still in the mix. Here, jewelry, sketches, chunky necklaces she hawks online. It's a side gig, sure, but it's her flex. She says that it proves that she's more than her size, to mean that there is more to her than just being fat, which seems like a fair thing to say. After all, fat people are still humans with a complex life that didn't revolve all around food. She'll post a doodle, bask in the praise, but then snap if you critique it, saying that she didn't ask you. It's this weird blend of vulnerability and venom that keeps her human, as she's not just a shouting head, and her fat activism, it's sharpening. Over time, it became less venting and more preaching. She's calling out brands, society, healthcare professionals, you name it. Fat people deserve better, and her fans are nodding like it's Sunday morning sermon at a church. She's not wrong half the time, she's just so insufferable about it. This is Marissa at her peak, the early TikTok days when she's raw, real, and riding high. She's not yet polished, she's not perfect, but she's got a spark that's lighting up the app. Her story is about a fat girl from Ottawa who turned her anger into a megaphone, and for a hot minute it was working. But here's the thing about takeovers, they don't last forever. Marissa was building an empire, sure, but the cracks are already there at the beginning. She's loud, she's proud, and she's about to get messy. Stick around, because this is where the chaos really kicks off. So after Marissa Matthews hit TikTok like a hurricane in the pre-COVID era with 4 million likes, fat activism on blast, a persona that could wake the dead, this is where the plot thickens. By 2021, she's not just preaching anymore. She's spiraling almost out of control like a Canadian Kanye West. This is where the chaos unleashed, where Marissa goes from a loudmouth legend to a walking, talking dumpster on fire. With her service worker tantrums that did nothing to help anyone, to her dating flops, to her sending death threats and wishes that eventually tank her account, it's a mess, and we're wading right in. Buckle up, this is where the cracks turn into craters. Let's start with the service worker saga, because if Marissa is a warrior for fat rights, she's also a straight-up Karen in the activist drag. So sometime in the summer of 2021, she's at Tim Hortons, her holy grail, judging by how often she name drops it, and something's off. She claims that she's a depressed person that chooses to get off her bed and take her daily walk down to her local Tim Hortons, hoping to get food from there, as opposed to making some herself in her own house. And on getting there, she realizes that they probably closed, or that they ran out of food for that day, and she loses it, saying that it's a very frustrating experience.
Daily walk to Tim Hortons to get food, and I make it in time, plenty of time before they close, yet they're not serving food anymore. Do you understand how frustrating that is?
Screaming slurs to her followers in the video she recorded, and to anyone that cares enough to listen, dropping F-bombs like it's World War II all over again, even going as far as saying F you to Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. She's pissed, really pissed. She's yelling at some poor cashier and filming it like it's her Oscar reel. I deserve better, she howls at the cashier, and the comment section explodes, half cheering for her standing up, while the other half is calling her entitled. Not to give an early spoiler, but from what is seen, it really seems the latter is true. Because this incident happened just after the pandemic started to ease off and life was slowly returning to normal. So of course there are still some activities that have not returned to full operating capacities. And she mentions it herself that this was like a daily routine for her when she said a daily walk to Tim Hortons. So she's been coming down there every day, or at least very regularly, and she must have gotten the food she wanted on those days. On the one day that she doesn't get the food, it's now a problem that everyone should care about. That just shows how obnoxious some influencers can be, and it's now giving a Karen vibe.
As a depressed person who doesn't want to make food, I had more energy to get up, to go outside, to go for a walk, to get food because I couldn't make any. And then the Tim Hortons that I go to literally is not selling food. You bet I said you to the guy and left. I hate this pandemic. I hate people. Holy you, Trudeau. Doug. Everybody.
This isn't a one-off occurrence even. She's got a whole playlist of these meltdowns, and it's a vibe shift nobody really asked for. Next up is her at Canadian Tire. Yup, the hardware store. She's losing it over a no backpacks policy, claiming it's a personal attack on her size. Like, how? So she goes to the Canadian hardware store in need of a new bicycle seat as her previous one was broken. At the door, she's told that she could not be allowed in due to a store policy, and she is outraged again.
People are dumb. So after biking all the way to Canadian Tire to get a new seat for my bike because it's broken, they won't allow me in the store because I have a backpack. And they want me to leave my backpack and my belongings at the front. How am I supposed to buy stuff if I don't have my purse on me? Like, what are these dumb rules? Do people not realize that a lot of women do not wear purses anymore? Especially when you're riding a bicycle? I can't wear a purse when I'm riding a bike. That's why I have a backpack, because it fits everything that I need. Like, am I supposed to go in the store and hold everything that's not in my backpack? I actually might do that. Just take everything out of my backpack and walk in with my backpack empty. They can have that, and I'll just hold all my items and be an asshole? Probably. Why do people have these dumb rules? What is so bad about having a backpack? What is so bad about a woman having a backpack?
We can't say for sure if Marissa is just playing dumb or if she actually is dumb, because she's acting like it's a conspiracy and not a rule that is meant to help the store curb shoplifting, especially as she knows fully well that they do not have security at the entrance, as she so conveniently admits in the caption of the video. So all that they have in place to stop theft is the backpack rule, which is at most a minor inconvenience for all other customers. But Marissa, she's stomping around, camera wobbling in hand, telling her followers that the store is trash. F this place. And it's peak Marissa, entitlement dressed up as activism. After refusing to drop her bag, she decided to go to a Walmart to get the bicycle seat that she wanted, but they didn't have it there. So she has to go back to Canadian Tires, the store that she just lambasted minutes ago. But before she goes in, she drops another video update.
Okay, so since I cannot wear my backpack into Canadian Tire and Walmart does not have bike seats, I'm gonna have to go back in. My question is, if I put my backpack under my shirt and in my pants, I need you to let me know if like the fatness coincides with like my own fatness. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Is it too lopsided? Am I gonna need to take my water bottle out and hold that? So it looks like from the side. So does it combine with my other fatness, or do I just look like I have a backpack under my shirt?
Now it just feels like she's trolling, because from her account of things, no one really said anything about her being fat. The reason she was denied entry was because she refused to put down her backpack. Now deciding to hide the said backpack under your shirt in hopes that it would not be noticed by the staff is just insane. Or maybe she was hoping to get the bike seat without having to pay. In essence, her logic doesn't have any signs of reasoning in line with it. Especially, she could have easily put down the backpack, brought out her purse, and then go get what she wants. But she has somehow turned this into an activist moment for herself, branding it as her fighting institutionalized fat phobia. Well, she's not wrong that fat folks get judged. That is one aspect that the majority can agree on. Hate stares at stores are real, but turning a minimum wage worker into her punching bag for a store rule that they didn't set, that's not the flex she thinks it is. But the fans lap it up, saying she is so real for standing up against institutionalized fat phobia. But the eye rolls are piling up. This isn't advocacy, it's a tantrum with Wi-Fi. Now let's talk about her dating life, because Marissa's bedroom flexes are a soap opera on steroids, and she has made sure that it's all our business to know about the ins and outs of her bedroom activities by being very public with it, whether it's true or not. Early 2022, she's bragging on TikTok about how she had been with 4 different guys in the past week, and that 2 guys were already lined up for the week to come. basically blasting to her haters that fat girls get it too, and it's seriously a weird victory lap, like she's dunking on every imaginary troll who called her undesirable. Fair play to her though, smash those stereotypes, but then she flips the script. Same breath, she's ranting about a dude from Bumble who ghosted her.
Who knows my worth, knows how I should and deserve to be treated, and how I don't take from anyone. He asked me to hang out. That means that he needs to initiate the day of type of thing, you know? And he didn't. It was like 2:30 and he still did not say anything about hanging out that evening. Now, with that said, that means that I'm not going to sit around. So when he asked me, what's up? I said, oh, I'm sanding some jewelry and watching TV. He's like, oh, cool. He's like, how about you? He's like, not much. I'm like, okay, cool. So then it's like 7, 8-ish, and I send him this lovely message of me setting my boundaries, not being rude at all, but letting him know that the way he was treating the whole situation.
Wild. So she starts by saying that she is a strong, independent woman that knows her worth, and that if a guy asks to meet her, he has to initiate the meeting. Which sounds fair since the guy is the one trying to meet her, and by 2:30 on the said day of the meet, she had heard nothing from him. So she just went about her day as usual, polishing some jewelry and watching TV, when he texts her and says what's up. But even after that exchange, she still did not get any confirmation of their plans together that day. So by 8 p.m. that day, she sends a message to the guy setting her boundaries and telling him how she felt about the entire interaction.
So I said, I thought we were hanging out today, LOL. So he didn't answer that, so I said this. I'm not one to wait around all day for a guy, so I'm no longer available to hang out tonight as you never clarified or confirmed anything yet. And now here's where I state my boundary. If there's a next time, I'm going to need things to be a little bit more concrete. Example, a guaranteed time, not just a general time frame because my time is valuable and I don't appreciate it being wasted. Because essentially you did waste my time. I'm not mad, just stating my boundaries, so if you can respect them, then cool, and if not, then oh well for you. So I sent that last night. I wake up, he read it, but didn't say anything. So I type, nothing? Not even 2 minutes later, he deletes me. Aww. Poor little boy child who doesn't know how to handle an independent woman who knows her worth.
So she basically told him that she would not waste her time waiting around for a man, so she was no longer free to hang that night. And she sets her boundaries by telling him that if there would be future arrangements, he has to confirm plans with her beforehand with more concrete details, like time and place, or not to make plans at all, which is really sounding more like an ultimatum and less like setting healthy boundaries. Well, long story short, he doesn't, and he instead deletes her as a friend, and suddenly she's the victim again, calling him a poor little child who doesn't know how to handle a strong, independent woman who knows her worth. Now, you would be excused if you thought that the drama ended there, but you would be so wrong, because it didn't. She went further after he blocked her on Snapchat to text him on Bumble, doubling down on her defense that he initiated the meeting, should have just followed up. Like that is a duty that the natural order of things assigned to men? Or that she couldn't have sent out a simple text to get his attention and then confirm the details?
I messaged this on Bumble. I don't get it. You wanted to hang out with me. We chatted well and we had plans. We didn't end up hanging out because you didn't initiate the plans that we had. So I set a boundary because I know my worth, and then you blocked me? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, buddy, but seriously, make it make sense. And he has since unmatched me. Ladies, know your worth. Stand up for yourself.
Also adding that she did not feel so great about being blocked by this one guy when she had bragged about juggling 4 dudes. Now one's a tragedy. Make it make sense. This Bumble saga's a gold mine. She posts the whole thing, screenshots with her thoughts, with her signature smug look. The works. Sure, she deserves respect. Sure, boundaries matter. But she's acting like he's a war criminal for not texting back. Then the kicker, she's almost simultaneously out here boasting about her active bedroom life, multiple partners, no shame, all to prove a point. But when it flops, it's everyone else's fault. Dating's hard when you're fat, she moans, and yet can be. But this ain't that. It's Marissa demanding the world bends to her will, then crying when it doesn't. Just like when she said she was with 4 different guys in a week. If you're a right-thinking person, it's expected to face some backlash after sharing such details about one's life. You can be expected to be slut-shamed, bantered, and get all sorts of negative comments because everyone in the world has different sets of morals guiding them. Marissa even tried to be ahead of the critics by saying that these men were not one-night stands. Instead, she had relations with them. She also adds that she's been with each of them at least 5 times prior. proving that it's indeed not one-night stands. Her fans are still eating it up. She's so honest. But the skeptics, they're clocking the hypocrisy a mile away. But the Bumble drama still doesn't end there. On a separate occasion, another guy texts her on Bumble and she responds, but she is quickly offended by his second text where he asks her for a Snapchat handle, saying that if a man that's over 25 is trying to talk to her, that he would have to text her.
Why are men so stupid? Like, as I'm swiping on Bumble, this one guy, like, the second thing that he says to me is, do you have Snapchat? And it's like, yeah, I have Snapchat, but I don't use it to entertain men. Because if you want to talk to me and you're over 25 years old...
In this video, she says that she doesn't entertain men on her Snapchat. But we know, thanks to her showing and telling us, that she does in fact text men on Snapchat. If you recap the details from a few minutes ago, you would clearly see that the guy that she was mad at for not confirming a hangout with was texting her on Snapchat. So how come it's a problem now and it wasn't a problem back then? This just shows you how easily Marissa shifts the goalposts to her convenience. What was a problem yesterday might not be one today, and what was accepted today might not be accepted tomorrow. These are the crazy terms that Marissa has set in her life, and it's no wonder that she is quite bitter as a person. We've heard Marissa talk a lot about boundaries this, boundaries that, consent this, consent that. But what does she actually know about boundaries and consent? Well, let's see.
Just like to clarify that me setting a boundary for my TikTok page does not mean I'm aggressive. It literally means that I know my worth and that I know how I want to be treated on this app. And it means that I know how I don't want to be treated on this app, which is like shit. And if you think that that is an aggressive thing to do, then you have an issue with the boundary that I've set. That's a you problem, not a me problem. So if I don't want to be criticized for eating food, including grilled lettuce, I have every right to say that I don't want to be judged for that. So then when you do judge me on that, I'm going to call you out because you are crossing a boundary that I have set. It's not that difficult, people. It's not that difficult to let people eat what they want.
So in this video, she's going on and on about how she wants and doesn't want to be treated on the app, while also telling viewers what they can and can't criticize her for. Is that not wonderful? You put up your content by your own choice on a public platform like TikTok, and you somehow want to also dictate and control people's comments and reactions to the stuff that you put up on said platform? That is simply not possible and just delusional. If she wanted more control on the comments and reactions that she got, the ideal thing would be for her to create a private profile where she can control and manage who gets to see her content, who follows her and all that. But since she's opted to keep her profile public, she would just have to accept that some people are gonna be rude, and there really isn't much she can do about it.
How they want. It's not that difficult to not say anything. It's called keep scrolling for a reason. I am sick and tired of getting judged for everything that I do. It's annoying and it's exhausting. Hence why I have set boundaries to avoid the exhaustion that you guys place on me sometimes. So if you think that me setting a boundary and not wanting to be judged is aggressive, then that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
Another thing that she has absolutely no problem with is the positive comments, so she can definitely take the good and the bad together, especially since she creates and sells art doodles and jewelries, and again has absolutely no problem with the good comments that she gets from customers and followers alike. But as soon as your comment is not something that she likes, you have crossed her boundary. Now, her takes on consent are somehow even more ridiculous, and the encounter that we would be highlighting is one that she had with a nurse. So the drama started when somebody left a comment on one of her posts educating the rest of the audience about fatty foods, and Marissa immediately took offense and made a video saying that she did not consent to receiving unsolicited advice, and the user tried to make sure that Marissa knew that it was coming from a verified source, a literal healthcare professional. But she didn't care. She kept going on about how she did not consent to being advised and a whole lot of other nonsense.
Comprehend that? Let's cover it, okay? So, I never asked for your opinion on my body. Meaning, if you give it to me, it's harassment, okay? Because I never consented to you giving me health advice.
Meaning, when you do, it's unwanted, not needed, not wanted, and I never said yes to it. So, don't do it, and stop crossing people's boundaries, especially if you're a nurse. Me saying, no, I don't want your unsolicited health advice is me saying no. And then you ignoring that, and then proceeding to give me the unsolicited health advice that I don't want anyway? Yeah, that's harassment. So don't do it. And,
So she simply explains that she didn't ask for the nurse's opinion on her body and that her getting health advice is harassment. Yes. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly did the nurse say that would cause Marissa to get so upset and trivialize a problem like sexual assault and harassment that has plagued millions, if not hundreds of millions of girls and women worldwide? Well, it's quite simple. The nurse wasn't even talking about fat women nor anyone's fat body. She was literally talking about fatty foods. But again, as we've seen many times with Marissa, her insecurities of being fat react first and take precedence before her brains can come into play. After this argument with the nurse, as well as a number of other smaller spats that she had with other users in her comments section, people now started to question Marissa about her tone and mode of response to her audience, pointing out how condescending and insulting she's been, how she takes everything said to her that is not a compliment as an attack, and how she never accepts whatever she's being told, even when it's the truth. And her response, well, let's say it's definitely on brand.
Okay, so one thing that I just find really funny and just stupid at the same time is when people comment on my video something along the lines of, I really supported you until you said this, or I really supported you, but I don't like what you're saying, so now I'm not gonna support you. Cool. Guess what? Newsflash, I do not give two if you support me or not. By all means, I am really happy that I do have the supporters and followers that I do. But if for some reason you wake up one day and you don't like the fact that I talk about fat oppression, or you don't like the fact that I want all fat bodies to be treated equally, or if you don't like that I'm advocating for basic human rights of fat people, and you don't want to support me because I'm calling that out, or you don't want to support me because I'm addressing thin privilege, guess what? You can leave, and you don't need to announce your departure because I don't give two. This space is not for you if you don't like that.
Her response to people saying that she's rude and condescending is probably her rudest video yet. She literally says if you don't like her content about fat phobia and making sure that all fat people get treated equally as others, then you can leave and stop following her. But that isn't even the point of anything that was pointed out to her. In fact, under this same video she posted insulting all of her followers, one user comments that she really enjoys Marissa's content and looks forward to it daily, but she wishes that Marissa would be a little less condescending, which is still in line with what she said to her before she recorded that video. And to that comment, Marissa responds saying, I also don't have to be nice and pleasant all the time. I'm allowed to think others are stupid, and I'm allowed to show emotions. Brilliant response, just brilliant. She has said this now. But when her viewers leave a negative comment on her post or just a comment that she doesn't like, she classifies it as an assault. And when a certified medical practitioner says fatty foods are bad, a statement that is inherently true, she claims that it is harassment by giving her advice that she did not consent to. And now she's saying that she's allowed to think others are stupid and is also allowed to show emotions. She has suddenly stripped off the same rights and privileges she gave to herself from these other people. There's no way to win or to get across to people like this. They're all too self-indulged to see things from other people's perspectives, and they can't see their wrongdoings, and even when they admit to wrong deeds, they always make sure that it's somehow justified. And that is what Marissa tried to do with this next video.
Where it's you pretend to be such a good person. And it's where the have I ever pretended? I know I'm an asshole. I know I'm an asshole. I can be a lot of the times, and I am okay with that. Because I accept myself, and I don't feel bad about that. Because in my opinion, when I'm an asshole, it's warranted. It's deserved. I don't go out of my way and just say off to everybody. I say off to the people who cross my boundaries or who are dicks to me and who don't respect me or harass me or bully me or whatnot. But sometimes I can be, and I'm well aware of that, and I'm okay with it. Because I don't think someone can be good, a good person 100% of the time. I don't think that's realistic. I think I'm a kind person a lot of the times, but I can be a dick to those
people.
She's not apologizing to her users for her crass and unnecessarily rude comments. She's not even acknowledging her vile actions. Instead, she's telling us just how much of an a-hole she is. Wild! Again, with this smug look on her face, she's saying that she doesn't give an F, that she's never said that she was a good person. What a way to own up to your actions and take accountability for them. She goes on saying that she's never been rude to someone first, and she's only rude to people that are rude to her. Now, that's a statement that we know not to be true. It's in fact a blatant lie. She was rude to the attendant at Tim Hortons. She was rude to the cashier at the hardware store when she tried to buy a bicycle seat. She was even rude to Trudeau when she dropped him an unsolicited F-bomb while ranting after she couldn't get food. So she's not just a rude and deluded person, she's also a liar and gaslighter. And her saying nobody can be nice all the time, yeah, that's true, but the comment specifically asked her to be a little less condescending, not even stop it entirely. For her, being nice 1 or 2% of the time would be a great improvement, and that speaks volumes about the kind of person she really is. It still didn't end there. She makes another video, this time calling out people that try to address her speaking tone, telling her to change it.
And you tell me to correct it, or to change it, or to worry about it because I'll be coming off as this, or I'll be coming off as that. How have you not known by now, or learned by now, that I do not give two f***s and I don't want you tone policing me? Because telling me how to talk and in what tone to talk in is tone policing. And telling me that
this video further cements the fact that Marissa can't see anything wrong in all she does. She doesn't even bat an eye in hesitation before she proceeds in the adjusted sarcastic tone defending herself. If you ask me to adjust my tone, that's tone policing, and I do not appreciate that, she said.
and you tell me to correct it, or to change it, or to worry about it because I'll be coming off as this, or I'll be coming off as that. How have you not known by now, or learned by now, that I do not give two f***s and I don't want you tone policing me? Because telling me how to talk and in what tone to talk in is tone policing. And telling me that
she later adds that she does not want a performative tone, even though she was still using that sarcastic and condescending tone that brought us here in the first place. She also adds that she's mad at people for using her negative tone as an excuse to associate her with negativity. I mean, you can't blame them, now can you? There's a reason why we have a saying that says most of our communications is tonal and less about the words that we actually say. But she's simply saying that if you equate her rude tone to her being rude, that's your problem. But the reality is it's not. If anything, it's really her problem, because her tone is probably one of the reasons why her channel has been dying since it peaked in 2021. It's something that has been complained about various times in her comments section. And the numbers back it up too, as she had over 4 million likes in her first year on TikTok, but could only manage 1.5 million in her second year. That's like a 60% drop in interactions in just a year. But the tone is not her problem, it's ours. Another possible reason why she's bleeding followers by the day is because of her excessive victimization of herself. Marissa firmly believes that everything bad that happens to her is happening to her because she's fat.
Another week when I did not do anything except exist in my fat body and not want to be harassed by bullies. So please, can you please email TikTok the link?
That's a video of Marissa after her account was banned, and she's on another one begging her followers to email TikTok to reinstate her account. The same followers she said she didn't care about. And while she's doing that, her reason for why she was banned is that she was existing in her fat body. Yeah, TikTok hates fat people too, but somehow they keep targeting you and only you. Why? And this is not a one-time thing, as it's actually happened a number of times.
Wait, stop scrolling! My account just got banned and I need your help to get it back!
Hi guys, I hate to be having to make this video again, but as you know, I have been blocked from posting on my main account for 2 weeks now. I was supposed to be able to post again tonight, and I went to go look just now. I got another notification saying that I can't post until the 19th, and then another one shortly after saying the 21st. This is without any violation. That's literally almost 4 weeks total. I haven't posted in 2 weeks. How the am I getting banned from posting when I am not even posting anymore? Who of my followers is reporting me still? This is pathetic, it's discrimination, it's oppression, and it's silencing marginalized bodies.
She's been banned more than a few times, and every time she gets banned, she cries that she's a victim of fat phobia, that they're trying to silence the voice of a fat woman, and that she was banned for existing in a fat body, all of which is simply not true. All her victim mentality has cost her a lot in terms of real-life relationships, as she admits to having very few of them, if any.
I wish I was more friends. Like I was better friends with more people on TikTok. And then I think that a lot, okay? And then TikTok drama happens. And it's like, I will never have that problem at the moment because I don't talk to anyone from TikTok that much to have that problem.
You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand why she doesn't have many friends. Simply judging on her internet personality, would you want to be friends with someone like that? It would most likely be a no. And the fact that she makes videos insulting and condescending those that are thought to be her fans does not help matters. She later made a video saying that she used to have friends from childhood that suddenly cut her off out of nowhere, even though they were there for her when they helped her through her mental health struggles. And when she was asked why they cut her off, if it was because she was fat, she said they were both thin and they didn't support her TikTok career. Victim mentality. We see it play again. She is insinuating that her childhood friends cut her off because she's fat, not because of her obvious deluded nature, not because they probably felt drained from helping her needy ass all the time. It's none of those reasons. Instead, it's because they were thin and she's fat. It's sad to see someone erode their personality so much that they reduce themselves to being described by their insecurities. Really sad. But as much as there's a gaping lack of real-life human interactions in her life, there is one person that has been a constant since Maria was born, and that person is her mother. Her mother has been a very prominent figure in her life, and even in her TikTok videos. And some of her mother's actions there, and also on Twitter, kind of explain some of Marissa's actions as an adult. To see the entire scope of events, we have to step back a little.
With this whole scenario, yeah, every single person who has ever bullied me, I don't think that they deserve to live or to breathe. And that includes every single person on ED Twitter who has bullied me or mentioned me or reposted anything of mine. All of you, I personally think you should drop dead. I personally think that you do not deserve to breathe air for bullying another human because of their body size or simply because you just don't like them. Like, that is so pathetic to do that. So, no, call me controversial, but I don't think that you deserve to live if you intentionally harm someone who is already mentally ill. No, I don't think you deserve to live. So if I haven't blocked all of you, go record that, go screen record that, and go post it on Twitter as well. Make me famous. I don't care anymore. But yeah, in all honesty, just for closing, so everybody knows my thoughts, I think they're all pieces of shit. They don't deserve to live. And in Marissa land, bullies would be sent to an island with this.
So in this video, Marissa is fed up about bullying and decides the best thing to do is address her bullies. Well, not just her current bullies, but everyone that has ever bullied her in the past. And she says that she doesn't think that they deserve to live. She adds that she'd rather they all dropped dead, saying bullies don't deserve to live and that they should be sent to an island, Marissa's island, where they'll be left with serial killers and rapists. Now that's a very insane thing to say, especially for someone like Marissa, because what counts as bullying for someone that clearly says she was assaulted by a nurse that commented about fatty foods were bad, or someone that called it systemic oppression when her TikTok account was suspended for vile comments like in this video. She even called it tone policing when she was advised about her rude and awfully sarcastic tone. And it was institutionalized fat phobia when they wouldn't let her come into a hardware store with her bag on. So what counts as bullying for this deluded narcissist that thinks the world should revolve around her? Hell, it would if only she was big enough. So it's very understandable when social media went berserk after that video dropped. People started mass reporting her account, and before you know it, she was banned on TikTok yet again. Then the drama now moved to Twitter, that is modern day X, and she was getting really bullied on the platform. Enter Mama Matthews as this train wreck becomes a family affair. Her mom's on Twitter, claws out defending her baby girl. Marissa's marginalized, she tweets, threatening lawsuits to the other teenagers trolling and making fun of her baby girl. It's a wild scene. If you scroll her feed, it's all my daughter this, my daughter that. My daughter's a saint. You're the problem. Now, if this almost sounds familiar, it's because you know Marissa. It's from her playbook. Never apologize, always attack. But when the ban sticks, she's on a backup account, and the vibe's shifting. Followers are peeling off, tired of the noise. She's still yelling, blaming fat phobia for her demise. But the cracks are gaping now. The comeback isn't happening. Instead, it's a collapse in slow motion.
You want to shout out? You just need to do a duet with me, then I shout you out already. Okay, you guys? So do that if you want to shout out.
From viral moments to constant controversies, this content creator has captured the attention of millions. In this deep dive, we'll explore her journey from an unknown TikToker to a viral sensation. We'll break down the key moments that defined her rise, the scandals that nearly broke her, and why, despite all the backlash, she continues to dominate the internet. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride. But the real question is, how did she get so famous? Let's break it all down. Now, before we get into the drama, let's take a step back and look at who Shawty Bae really is. At the center of the online universe is a young woman whose name has popped up everywhere, and for good reason. She first blew up on TikTok for her quirky humor and unconventional personality.
How did I get famous? There's a video, if you want to shout out, if you know. And that one that says, you know, you can call me by my middle name if you want to, is better so. That one. The real OGs know. PewDiePie put me his video, so that's how I become famous. And then Rice become dead.
Born in 2002 in a small town in the Midwest, Shawty Bae made her online debut years ago. And it's safe to say she's come a long way. Her story might be a bit unconventional, but hey, that's what makes it interesting. Like many other influencers, Shawty Bae's journey didn't start with TikTok. It wasn't always about sharing viral dance moves or lip-syncing to the latest pop songs. In fact, her social media career began on Instagram, where she started posting back in 2017. During this period, she was just like any other teenager trying to figure out how to build an online presence. Instagram, which was still heavily focused on image and aesthetics back then, wasn't the easiest platform to break into for someone who wanted to stand out with personality rather than a curated feed. But Shawty Bae did what many others in her situation would never think to do. She didn't play by the rules.
Go down and pray for me to forgive you. And guess what? No. Guys, I'm your guys. I am your new god.
Instead of focusing on perfect pictures, Shawty Bae leaned into her ability to entertain. Whether she was sharing relatable memes, reacting to viral trends, or showing off her unapologetic sense of humor, Shawty Bae quickly built a following. People appreciated her candor and her willingness to be herself in a world where everyone seemed to be hiding behind filters and curated posts. She would go on live and she would say or do things that were funny, they would get clipped and become a meme. She got an opportunity with beauty creations, and from there just became more popular. She is stated to have a mental disability she doesn't speak of. I personally think she's funny, sometimes, but sometimes I wonder if she is emotionally intelligent to comprehend situations or things she says or is being said to her. But her real breakthrough came when she moved to TikTok. While Instagram was still in its prime, TikTok was emerging as the platform of choice for creators who wanted to build their brand and reach a larger audience. Back then, TikTok was still known as Musical.ly, a platform mostly dedicated to lip-syncing videos and dance challenges. However, it was also a place where new personalities could shine. Shawty Bae saw this potential and dove right in. She knew that TikTok's algorithm favored those who could keep people engaged, and her quirky humor and infectious energy made her an ideal candidate.
Sister, it might not to make one love.
What set Shawty Bae apart on TikTok was her ability to merge comedy with authenticity. Unlike other influencers who seem to over-edit their lives, Shawty Bae allowed her fans to see the messier, more chaotic side of her life. In a world of perfectly staged posts, Shawty Bae's authenticity became her brand. She wasn't afraid to look silly, rant about everyday frustrations, or call out the absurdities she saw in the world. Her audience loved it. They loved her ability to be funny and relatable, but they also loved that she wasn't afraid to be raw and vulnerable.
You can call me by my middle name. My middle name is Vanessa, so you can call me by my middle name if you want to, or you can call me Shawty or Shorty or whatever you want. Okay, that's the good shit, and that's the period. You know the vibes. Why did I break up with my boyfriend? Because I don't want my career to end. My career is more important than any guy or anybody, to be honest.
In the beginning, Shawty Bae wasn't known by her iconic TikTok name. Before the fame, she was just another girl on Instagram trying to build a presence. She started posting way back in 2017, and it didn't take long for her to find a loyal following. But her big break, that came when she made the jump to TikTok, then known as Musical.ly. Lip-syncing, memes, and trends became her playground, and her audience grew. Doing TikToks and being laughed at on social media is a career. But come on, get a real job. TikTok pays you to make them more rich, and by the time you start getting noticed little by little, you start getting erased. And what really set Shawty Bae apart was her unique voice. Not literally, but in the way she communicated with her fans. Her catchphrases like saying "no cap" instead of "no lie," and her over-the-top personality made her stand out from the crowd.
I'm famousness.
You couldn't scroll through TikTok without seeing one of her videos pop up. Before she became a full-fledged internet personality, Shawty Bae was just another teenager trying to make a name for herself online. In an era dominated by polished influencers and aesthetic-heavy content, she didn't exactly fit the mold, but that's exactly what made her stand out.
Call them, but they make sure they don't hear him. I'm FaceTime him. I can't believe you lied to me.
Tell them. They're asking why you don't go live on TikTok. Tell them.
What the f? He ended the call. I can't believe I'm done with him.
Good boy.
You Juanito. You!
Oh my god.
What's wrong with him?
Don't say that.
I got to text him. You.
No.
Yes. You want to see? Come here really quick.
What's he doing out there, Lolcow?
You're so bad. That's your phone that's disconnected.
No. I can't believe you. See you never in my life. See you never. I'll put my phone not disturbed. See you never. I'm going to ignore him tomorrow. I'm not going to answer him. I'll be like, oh my god, sorry. I was too busy.
You sound like me when
I'm going to ignore him's ass.
So, as earlier said, in 2017, Shawty Bae started posting consistently on Instagram. At first, her content was scattered, selfies, random thoughts, and the occasional joke. There was no clear direction, it was just a teenager having fun online. But even in those early posts, one thing was obvious. She had a personality that couldn't be ignored. While most aspiring influencers carefully crafted their image to fit Instagram's perfect life aesthetic, Shawty Bae leaned into the chaotic, unfiltered, and real. She wasn't interested in looking flawless, she wanted to entertain. Shawty language and the unexpected fame she's gained, often joking about her famousness and the attention she receives. A lot of people followed Shawty Bae way before she blew up. She was just a funny girl on Instagram back then, always posting most random but hilarious things. However, Instagram's algorithm favored high-quality, curated content, making it difficult for someone with Shawty Bae's raw, unfiltered style to gain traction. She had a loyal group of followers, but she wasn't reaching new audiences the way she wanted. That's when she started looking for a new platform. By 2019, Shawty Bae had already surpassed 100,000 followers on Instagram. But that wasn't the milestone that really mattered. What made her truly viral was a series of videos on TikTok that had people talking, whether they loved her or hated her. One of her first big viral moments, it wasn't a dance challenge or lip sync. Her first big viral moment didn't come from a perfectly choreographed trend or a collaboration with a big influencer. Instead, it came from a completely unfiltered, off-the-cuff rant about dating.
Guys, it's me, Naturalness. I just have to say something. When guys think that they're the, you know what I mean? Like, they think they're all this or all that. They think that they manage us. Like, no, honey, you don't manage us. We need to manage you, bro. We need to manage you. Stop telling me who to talk to. Stop telling me who to talk to. That's it. I can have friends there, guys. I can talk to the whole world if I wanted to. And stop telling me what to do, bro. I hate when people tell me what to do in my life. It's my life, bro. And I'm single. And I can talk to anybody I want. And stop telling me what to do. They're toxicos, bro. You need to be managing them, not them managing you, bro. What the heck you think he is, bro?
The video spread to a lot of her followers. People related to it, laughed at it, and most importantly, engaged with it. Within a week, she had gained 50,000 new followers. It was the moment she officially became a TikTok star. By the end of 2019, Shawty Bae had gone from a small Instagram personality to a TikTok sensation. She had cracked the code, not by following trends, but by becoming the trend.
I'm famousness.
With her signature humor, unpredictable content, and a rapidly growing fan base, she was ready to take things to the next level. But as her fame skyrocketed, so did the controversies.
That was funny.
Fast forward to 2023, and Shawty Bae was everywhere. TikTok was her domain, and she was making moves. People were obsessed, not just with her content, but with the persona she had built. And her community, it was loyal, especially the younger crowd who felt she represented something real in a world of filtered, curated perfection. Her videos became a daily ritual for fans. Her content went beyond just TikTok.
I wanted to prank you.
I'm running away.
No, we love you, Shawty.
No,
This is a big prank. It's a big
I
misunderstanding.
don't care.
It's just a prank.
Wait.
Wait. It's just a prank.
Take it off. I don't give a fuck.
You're amazing, Shawty. This is all prank. It's a prank.
I haven't even. Having an event to go to. I'm going. What's Gucci gang, man? But anyways, this is me today. But anyways, I look so good today. Like, what the? But anyways, I'm going to Walmart to like buy stuff, and then I'm going to Subway, and then after that I'm going to Sam's Club, and then after that I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, I will tell you. Hold on, man. Where's your roommates?
They're
Her live streams became the main event. They were chaotic, real, and sometimes even a bit too much for the average viewer. But that's exactly what drew people in. The combination of her no-filter approach to her personal life and her willingness to spill the tea made her an internet sensation. Shawty Bae had transformed from an internet meme to a full-blown TikTok superstar. Her fan base wasn't just big, it was obsessed. Every post, every live stream, every chaotic moment had people coming back for more.
Be thy name, the kingdom come, the will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this daily, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgave those who trespassed against us, and deliver us. Deliver. What the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Diosito. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I just want to be. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to be.
Her content wasn't polished, and that was the secret to her massive appeal. While other influencers focused on perfect aesthetics and scripted content, Shawty Bae built her brand on being real, or at least real enough to keep people guessing. But how exactly did she go from just another TikTok personality to one of the most talked about influencers on the platform? Let's break it down. The fan base that would ride or die for her.
Oh my! I'm ready for tomorrow. We're going to get drunkenness, litness, Gucci gayness.
Y'all, I love you so much. Like, I see the comments, I see the edits, and y'all really make my heart so full.
Hopefully, we can keep growing and keep going. And thank you. And I love you guys so much.
One of the biggest reasons behind Shawty Bae's explosive growth was her fan engagement. Unlike many TikTok stars who kept their distance from followers, she interacted constantly. She read comments, she duetted on fan videos, she shouted out usernames on her live streams, and most importantly, she made fans feel like they were part of her inner circle. Her top supporters started calling themselves the Bayhive, a play on Beyonce's Bayhive because of how loyal they were. She's just funny and unapologetically herself, and I think that's why people like her. By mid-2023, she had crossed 5 million followers, a number that doubled by the end of the year. But it wasn't just her fan base growing. Brands started noticing too. With millions of followers came sponsorship deals. And despite her messy, unfiltered persona, brands couldn't ignore her reach. But here's the thing, Shawty Bae didn't always play by the rules. Most influencers carefully craft their brand deals. They follow strict marketing guidelines, making sure to professionally promote products. Shawty, she took a different approach. Fans loved how unbothered she was about keeping things professional. The companies, not so much.
Thank you. He should get your name tatted. Let's ask him. Babe.
What?
Would you ever get my name tatted?
Yeah.
There you go. And I will get his name tatted too. Let's not say soon.
Some brands pulled out of partnerships, but others leaned in, realizing that Shawty Bae's raw, unpredictable energy was the selling point. One of the biggest reasons for Shawty Bae's popularity explosion, her chaotic live streams. Unlike other creators who kept things chill, Shawty's live streams felt like a reality show unfolding in real time. 1 minute she'd be crying about an ex. The next, she'd be screaming about a DoorDash order gone wrong. And then out of nowhere, she'd start freestyling terribly, but hilariously.
Who's Shawty Bae?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
What the bitch?
Say, do you fancy a cup of tea?
Do you fancy a cup of tea?
Hey, that's not bad, mate. I'll tell you that.
This man!
Now let's talk about the Waka House. By 2023, Shawty Bae had made a name for herself, not just as a TikTok personality, but as part of a new wave of content creators living together in a content house. This is where things started to get a little complicated.
I'm going to see what I'm going to do today.
Just buy a house already.
I need time to think what I'm really going to do. I don't know what to do. I still need time to think, you know. I don't know if I should go back to the Waka House, finish until September, or just get a house. I don't know. No sé qué hacer.
The Waka House was full of influencers, all creating content for their millions of followers. But behind the scenes, it was more than just a creative space. It became the backdrop for some serious drama. Shawty Bae, living in close quarters with her roommates, started to document her personal life on TikTok. And let me tell you, her love life, it became part of the show. Gone were the days of low-effort, bedroom-filmed rants. She was now part of a new wave of influencers living together in content houses, a trend that had taken over social media. And while it seemed like the perfect place for viral moments, it also became the center of some of her biggest controversies.
Hey guys, it's Shawty Bae. I made this party for Walito because he deserves everything in the world and he means so much to me. He's my best friend and I have a big surprise for him. Let's not say it right now, but you will see the surprise soon.
Mami, yo te quiero aquí, nada fancy, just working for a G. Me dice que you tiki girl, date media vuelta, let's see. Rebota con el 1, 2, 3. Dime cuánto me deseas. Dime cuánto me anhela, te quiero acariciar. Perdóname que sé que te hablo sucio, sé que tú quitaste este print y lo quieres, pero mientras me perrea, te voy a dar una nalgana de acariciar. Que me tienes enchante, jovencita 23, está brincando en ese Jordan que le encanta esta cancioncita gante. Hasta la bella Cuba, gringuita white tiger y toda la morenita black panther. Y es que me acostumbré, a veces yo no sé qué hacer. Gata de otro nivel, pero sé que eso es ver. Lo único que quiere este perro lamer. Dime cuánto me deseas, te quiero acariciar. Dime cuánto me anhela, te quiero acariciar.
Julito, you ready? Let's go. We'll walk next one. We'll walk next one.
Here, let me go down first.
Where?
Step.
Can you see or not? Can you see or not?
No, but my eyes fucking hurt.
Shout out again to the party bus for, hey, we're here already. We're pulling up.
Shout out to the party bus. I don't know where the...
We're going in.
Hey, all right, Chad. Who do y'all think it is? I don't know who it is, Chad. I don't know where I'm at.
Right here.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm nervous, bro. Wait. I'm going. Bro, I'm nah, I ain't gonna crack. Nah.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right,
Let's everybody get in and then we'll follow behind.
Let's grab them. Chato, Isaac,
What
Wendy.
the f is y'all doing, bro? It better be a big booty bitch, huh? This shit does not happen to me, bro. Bro, what the f is going on, bro?
Oh, right there. Shh. Right here. I want it right here. All right, stand right here. Hold on. All right, ready?
Wait, what's gonna happen?
Hold on, bro. Hey,
you're good, bro.
All right, there's a person that we help. This person right here, she loves you a lot, and she told the whole crew. So she's actually the one that planned this. We just helped her.
Where's she at?
Here.
Okay, but am I here?
Yes. Okay. Wait, but I think you should be in the front. Yeah. You need to get the whole reaction.
Stream
Watch out, make space for it. Make space for it.
She's working and everything. Bro, what are y'all?
Shawty Bae, with her unfiltered personality, was perfect for this environment. But if the fans thought she would blend in, they were wrong. She quickly became the main character of the Waka House. Before the Waka House, Shawty Bae had a very relatable, messy, and chaotic energy that drew fans in. But as soon as she entered the influencer mansion, people started noticing changes. Her style evolved. She went from oversized hoodies and casual outfits to designer clothes and full glam. She started collaborating with bigger influencers, gaining even more traction.
I'm so richness.
Her personality became bolder, more exaggerated. Some even said too much to handle. The biggest difference? She started treating social media like a reality show, and her followers were hooked. But not everyone in the Waka House was on board with Shawty Bae's approach. It didn't take long for tensions to rise between Shawty Bae and her other roommates. Her loud, chaotic energy, which made her so popular online, wasn't always easy to live with in real life.
You better be happy for me because I left that toxic house that were just using me for clout and go off. Anyways. So you're telling me you rather them use me for clout than me going to Lebanon? Damn, that's crazy. To be honest, that's crazy, honey. That's crazy. Now you guys want to switch up? Just crazy. That's crazy, girl.
Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks.
I used them with what? What did they afford me? What did they give me? What did they do for me? Come on, let's be honest here.
An incident sparked various reactions from fans and followers across social media platforms.
Some people, so the camera footage, so
the camera footage from outside the neighbor's house?
Yes, we already called. They just need to call us back. We'll have...
Fans took to TikTok to discuss the break-in, with videos expressing shock and seeking clarity on the situation. For example, a video of Shawty and the person who called her life delved into Shawty Bae's contemplation following the incident. There was speculation regarding potential suspects involved in the break-in. According to some speculations, Shawty allegedly knows who might have broken into the Waka House, and this simply highlighted the community's engagement with the incident.
You knew who the person was, and that's why everybody is blaming you.
I know. I feel like so. I know who's guilty, but I can't say who. You know.
Oh, so you kind of know.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! And were they your low-key quote unquote friends, or just people you know?
I'm not going to answer that question, you know?
Okay. No, that's fine.
The truth will come out soon, honey.
Okay. And how come it's taking a while?
As of now, Shawty Bae has not returned to the Waka House following the break-in. Discussions continue among fans regarding the incident and its aftermath.
Homie.
Oh, you're the homie. You're the homie. Oh.
Yeah, I'm the homie. There you go.
Hey, that's nice. Are you guys living together, or are you guys just chilling right now?
I'm just staying at her house for a little bit. I'm going to get apartment pretty soon.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go. You excited?
Yes, I'm excited.
Man, what you looking for? 2-bedroom studio, 1-bedroom?
2-bedroom because I need one for my makeup. Like, you know me, I love doing makeup. I need a room for makeup and stuff.
At first, Shawty Bae's time in the Waka House seemed like a dream. She was surrounded by creators, her following was skyrocketing, and she was living in what felt like a TikTok reality show.
Should we do jumping jacks right now? Okay, hold up.
But behind the scenes, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Because when you mix clout, competition, and relationships, drama is inevitable. And for Shawty Bae, the biggest betrayal wasn't just from random influencers. It was from the people she considered her closest friends.
Like this guy I used to talk to broke in the house, and I know who broke in the house. First of all, I wasn't home. And second of all, stop blaming people for stuff. Like, that's up. And stop saying that I know when I don't. I wasn't even at the house. I left I left the house like around 2. I don't know anything that happened, and like none of us did. And stop blaming people for stuff. Like, you're weird. You're weird for saying we're doing this for clout and saying we're doing it for views and stuff like that. Like, you don't know how we feel off camera. I was deadass crying when I heard someone broke inside our house. Like, I was deadass crying. I didn't know what to do. I was scared because I left some stuff there. Like, I don't get how they didn't steal anything from me, but stole stuff from like my friend Jose and stuff like that. Like, I just don't get it. you know, and stop blaming people for stuff that happened. It was not none of my friends, honey. Go off. You're weird. You're weird as fuck. You're weird. And now, I'm not going back to that house. I'm not living there no more. I'm going to find a place. I'm going to buy a house. I'm not going there. This is the biggest, scariest thing in my life that I never want to go through ever. Good thing I wasn't home. I would never ever want to experience that. I'm scared of my life. Like deadass, I'm scared of my life. I would never want to be, no, I don't want to be in the house anymore. No, I don't want to. It's so scary. Like, I don't want to be there anymore. I want to go and grab my stuff. Some stuff in my house.
In the summer of 2023, Shawty Bae opened up about a new crush. And by opened up, I mean she stated it clearly in an interview with some guys.
This new podcast.
Because people know who I love now.
Who is it?
My best friend.
Wilito?
Yeah, now you know this. You know. He treated me well. Like, you know when you get treated a certain way?
Yeah.
And then you fall for someone just out of nowhere. Like, that's how I felt. Like.
Turns out her crush wasn't just any guy, it was her roommate. And the internet quickly pieced the puzzle together. That roommate? A guy named Lolcow, who was also part of the Waka House crew.
Can we kiss for 100?
No.
Why?
Because I would never do that.
But we're getting money. Okay, how much would they have to pay you in order for you to kiss like another guy?
I would never do that.
You wouldn't kiss for money? Me neither. Do you have a crush on me, Shawty?
No.
Be honest.
I don't.
Look at me in the eyes and tell me no.
I don't. Why don't?
What is this video?
What do you mean?
Who are you talking about in this video?
Somebody.
Guys, Shawty doesn't like me, right? She doesn't like me, bro. We're best friends. Like, bro, we're literally best friends. Best friends would never like each other, bro. Like, I love her. She's actually like one of my closest friends, like in like real life, you know. If anything happens to her, you know, I'll be there for her. We don't have no feelings towards each other. Like, we would never kiss or do other stuff.
The thing about Lolcow was he didn't exactly reciprocate the feelings, not in the way Shawty Bae hoped. Instead, he played along with the will they, won't they storyline for content. This whole situation turned into a mess of emotions, fake romance, and online drama.
Damn, who's this?
Bro, why you showing that knife, bro? Yo, why you always do that to me? What the fuck, Juanito? What's up? Why you always show me?
And guess what? Fans loved it, but not in the way you'd expect. If you've been following Shawty Bae's Waka House saga, you know that she had a huge crush on Lolcow, one of the biggest male influencers in the house. And at first, it seemed like harmless TikTok flirting.
Edgar, we just have to sing it.
Okay, you guys sing it first. Yeah, well, you go first and then you'll finish it so you can say what you
That is not look. Wait, my ear, you made me bleed yesterday.
Can I pop your neck?
Wait.
Just relax though, like that ass. I was studying to be a cracker. Chat, when I was gonna be a cracker back in my day.
I said you do or no?
Oh, let's not say. Oh, we're recording for YouTube, right? And we're going on a ride.
Until another Waka sister got involved. The person she was talking about, Wendy Ortiz. At first, Wendy denied everything. But TikTok detectives quickly put the pieces together. Wendy and Lolcow were spending more time together off camera. Lolcow started liking all of Wendy's posts, but stopped engaging with Shawty's. The fans realized what was happening, and they did what they did best. Exposed everything. And the worst part, Wendy kept playing innocent. And now, instead of supporting Shawty Bae, many house members tried to stay neutral, which to her meant they were against her. In her videos, she expressed her feeling as being used up more as a clout.
You better be happy for me because I left that toxic house that were just using me for clout and go off. Anyways. So you're telling me you rather them use me for clout than me going to Lebanon? Damn, that's crazy. To be honest, that's crazy, honey. That's crazy. Now you guys want to switch up? Just crazy. That's crazy, girl.
Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks.
I used them with what? What did they afford me? What did they give me? What did they do for me? Come on, let's be honest here.
I'm kidding.
No, it's okay.
Alright, let's do it.
Hey, I like that.
Oh, you like that shit?
Yeah.
Shawty Bae's feelings for Welito deepened. The situation only got more complicated. Fans started to catch on to the fact that Welito might not feel the same way. At first, the back and forth between them was playful, even funny. But as the lines blurred between real and fake, the audience began to feel uncomfortable. Was Welito leading Shawty Bae on for the views? Or was this just classic content house shenanigans?
I don't care. Me and your... Actually, I was done with you already. Since that day I saw you. I've been done with you already. I haven't talked to you since then.
You know, it's cool. You know, the real colors come out when you get mad at me.
No, the real colors already came out a long time ago. Anyways.
Oh yeah, so you've been faking this whole time.
Just leave me alone.
Regardless, the drama didn't stop there. Welito kept teasing her on social media, leading to even more conflict. People began to accuse him of using Shawty Bae's feelings for his own gain. Fans didn't like that. They thought Welito should have been more upfront with Shawty Bae. But instead of addressing the situation directly, he kept stringing her along, making the whole thing feel like a circus. After the love triangle fallout with Wendy, fans thought things between Shawty Bae and Welito were completely over. But in true TikTok drama fashion, it wasn't that simple. Because just when people were ready to move on, Welito and Shawty Bae started acting like a couple again. After everything that had gone down, Welito could have walked away and left Shawty Bae alone. But instead, he kept her close. Too close. Suddenly, Welito was liking all her TikTok videos again, commenting flirty emojis on her posts, showing up in the background of her lives. And for someone who wasn't interested, he sure was acting like he was. Fans were skeptical, but Shawty, she played along. She started posting even more content with Welito, hinting that maybe, just maybe, there was still something there.
Desde que tú te fuiste puse el modo potonón. Ya ni salir con morras guapas me trae emoción. Me vi con una que parecía tu clon. Huevonito y todo, pero no había conexión.
It wasn't long before TikTok exploded with speculation. And while Welito never confirmed anything, Shawty did. She went live one night and dropped the biggest bombshell yet.
Can I tell you something though? Like, let me tell you guys something, but I was really in love with Welito, okay? And I couldn't get over him no matter what I did. And then I found Alan. He changed he changed me a little bit.
I know y'all have been asking, and yeah, me and Welito are talking again. We're figuring things out. That was all it took. The internet had officially lost its mind. For weeks, Shawty and Welito milked the attention. They posted cute TikToks together. They did a couple of challenges. They even teased a boyfriend reveal vlog. But something felt off.
Sorry, I'm feeling myself right now. Wow, why are you looking at me like that?
In multiple TikToks, Welito seemed distant, barely looking at Shawty, fidgeting and avoiding romantic moments. Fans started noticing that Welito's energy wasn't matching Shawty's. In one live stream, he was caught rolling his eyes when Shawty called him babe.
Bro, why are you ignoring me, bro?
I'm not.
You are. You don't do anything.
Nah, babe. Imagine my beard. Babe, what are you doing? Babe. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
In another, a fan asked if he loved her, and his response? Not exactly a romantic declaration. As time went on, the truth became harder to ignore. Walida was clearly leading Shawty Bae on, keeping her around for views, never actually committing. And when old DMs leaked, things got even worse.
Yeah, I think you guys need to have
And then it said, "Will you take me back?" Something.
What does that
was
mean?
it, baby? Wait, back? I don't even remember, bro. I don't know.
Baby got back?
No, bring me back. Something like that. If you've seen his YouTube video.
Oh, he made a video out of
Yeah.
it. Interesting. That's interesting.
But he doesn't bring girls around you.
He does. And you know what? I slammed the door on her.
On the girl?
Yep. I did because, first of all, I didn't want to get her. I told him, no, I don't want to say hi to her. I told him already. And then he brought her inside the
house?
The house. In my room, my personal space.
Yeah.
I slammed it because, first of all, I didn't want to get her. And I did get her because it hurt me. Like, really, it hurt my heart. Like, that ass.
Wow.
Yep. But I got over it.
Yeah.
And
do you think you can be friends with him? Like, just friends?
I am friends with him.
Okay. So you
it's
kind
really
of,
hard, though.
You put your feelings to the side?
Yes, I do.
That's so hard.
Hopefully, we can keep growing and keep going. And thank you. And I love you guys so much. I'm not.
Came the breakup. Shawty Bae, after weeks of back and forth, finally ended things with him. But not without a little drama of her own. She made a TikTok about it, naturally, where she explained how she wasn't attracted to him anymore. She equally talked about him, which was more hinted to mean that Walida was too boring, and she was probably feeling bad to be seen with him.
Try to forget about, you know. I know he doesn't love me, but well. I don't care if he's my boyfriend. In my head, he's my boyfriend. I don't care. No me importa. I'm delusional. I'm a delusional person, like I said. I don't care. He's my boyfriend in my head. He's my man, the fuck? In my head.
This sparked outrage. Fans were furious. Some people even started calling her delusional for dumping someone she'd been flaunting online just a few weeks earlier. It was a classic case of it's complicated, but it's clear that Shawty Bae had no problem throwing Walida under the bus for content. For weeks, fans had been speculating that something was off between Shawty Bae and Walida. The once inseparable duo barely interacted anymore. Their flirty TikToks, gone. Their live stream banter, awkward.
Shawty Bae man ignoring her kisses.
My hair gets curly when I shower.
And the final straw, there were live streams where Rolito straight up ignored Shawty's attempt to hold his hand in her kisses. Shawty Bae went live one night, visibly upset, and finally told the world, in a way, she and Walida were actually done. She probably doesn't even want to talk about it anymore. She tried to move on quickly, but fans weren't having it. At first, Shawty refused to spill, but as the pressure built, she finally let one key detail slip. During a late-night TikTok rant, Shawty Bae made a statement that shook the internet.
The only person I want is him, and that's it. Nobody else. know, I have offer options, but they're just options. You know what I mean? They're my options and that's it. And like, Juanito's my main. Like, you know what I mean or no? I'm a delusional person. I be thinking that me and him are together, but we're not together. Like, I just keep in my head we're dating. I said this once. I think about him every day, that we're together. I think we're dating when we're not. I think things in my head, and then last night, I'm thinking that stuff, you know, weird stuff. I'm delusional. I dream about him.
And just like that, the internet exploded. Welito, who had been silent since the breakup, finally spoke out. And let's just say he wasn't happy. He went live and addressed Shawty's comments, saying, "Man, that's crazy. I ain't even said nothing bad about her, but she wanna come for me? Nah, that ain't it." He tried to take the high road, but his frustration was obvious, especially when a fan asked, "Did you even like her?" Welito paused, then laughed. And that laugh, it said everything. At this point, people were questioning everything. What you think, you put out into the universe, and the universe rewards you with blessings. I love her for being honest and expressing how she feels. She is me, I am her. When I'm invested, I'm invested.
You can take me home for the shopping day. Does it make sense? And I'll be the clarity. I can't be alone and take my holiday. What's just say so? Where's your head? That would be nothing.
Pathetic.
Of course, the drama didn't end with Welito. In late 2023, Shawty Bae entered into a new relationship, but things didn't stay smooth for long. She hesitated to reveal her new boyfriend online, but eventually shared his face with the world. This relationship, too, didn't last long. Shawty Bae ended things just a few weeks later, citing that he wasn't her type. But here's the kicker, she humiliated him publicly, too. She went on another TikTok rant, basically talking about him and saying that she was never too happy to have dated him. Fans again were divided. Some thought it was hilarious, while others saw it as cruel. What was clear, though, was that Shawty Bae was a master at staying in the public eye, even if it meant creating controversy at every turn. At first, Shawty Bae kept things low-key. She started dropping subtle hints on TikTok, posting her nails with a mystery hand. Smiling at her phone during live streams, fans immediately started digging. Then one night during a show, she showed off an influencer, a glimpse of her new man next to her. Fans took a screenshot immediately. Within minutes, his identity was exposed. His name? Rich Boy Cardi. Rich Boy Cardi was different from Welito.
Okay, you guys ready? Anyways.
He wasn't an influencer. He wasn't in a content house, and he barely even used TikTok. Fans were shocked because Shawty Bae usually dated guys in the industry. But Rich Boy? He was a regular dude who just happened to catch Shawty's eye. At first, fans were supportive, but of course the peace didn't last long. Just as fans were warming up to Rich Boy, something weird happened.
So,
get off live.
Huh? I was just telling you
seriously,
this.
get off live right now.
I was just telling you the
No,
situation.
I don't care. Why are you saying lies right now?
I'm not saying lies.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Get off live. Okay, I got to call your manager right now.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just telling the truth. You said you wanted to address the situation and tell the truth.
I'm calling your manager right now.
That's fine with me. It's fine. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's fine. I just want to address the situation. That's it.
That's bad for this image, so.
It's not bad for my image. No, you literally, no, you went live about 20 minutes ago. I told Shawty, don't go live talking about me or do it. Don't do that. She's... All right, I'm ending this.
Shawty Bae started acting differently. She became super possessive online, constantly making TikToks about how other girls better not look at her man. Fans thought she was joking at first, but then she took it a step further. During a live stream, she called out a random girl in the chat for flirting with Rich Boy. One night, Shawty Bae went live in tears. No introduction, no explanation, just crying. Fans immediately knew something was wrong. Y'all, I just can't believe this. After everything I did for him, the chat was going.
I just was sad a little bit because I felt so alone when like my breakup happened. Like, I mean, I had my friends, but I was like just going through it. I didn't know what to do anymore. Like, I didn't eat. I didn't like. I started drinking. I started doing. Let me be honest. I started doing drugs. I started doing things that I should have been doing. You know, like I've been like, yeah. But now I want to change that. I just want to be a better person. Hopefully, if I have God in my life, it will make me change.
At first, she refused to say. Then she dropped the bombshell. She just found out he was still texting his ex the whole time. The internet exploded. She confirmed the breakup.
Shawty Bae confirms her breakup with Rich Boy Cardi.
I didn't want to bring this to social media, but me and my mom broke up. I have reasons why I broke up with him. I didn't want to bring this on social media. I don't want you guys to get him hate, okay? And other thing, don't put me in the middle of whatever he has going on, okay? Like, people want to involve me in shit. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Stop texting me. Stop calling me. Stop telling me something about him. Like, I don't give a like, stop it. Like, leave me the fuck alone, or else I will expose your number right now, actually.
Unlike Walida, Rich Boy didn't stay silent. Within hours, he went live to clear his name. Man, she's making me look like the bad guy, but y'all don't know the full story. He denied cheating, but admitted to talking to his ex. According to Rich Boy Cardi, he and his ex were just friends. Shawty Bae was overreacting.
Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. This love comes slow and it goes so fast.
He never actually cheated, but fans weren't buying it. A week later, Shawty Bae posted a TikTok that said it all. Caption, I miss you. She's single and now thriving. By Rich Boy Cardi. And just like that, another Shawty Bae relationship bit the dust. Fans were split, but the question was, what's next for Shawty Bae? Because at this point, her love life wasn't just drama, it was full-on entertainment. And soon enough, she'd find herself in another situation even worse than this one. No, Shawty, you deserve better. Babes, what Sosa? She means it, y'all. She's actually singing lyrics.
How you eat? I'm going tomorrow. There's nothing. Hey honey, you okay? Yeah, I'm taking a break from social media. I just wanted you guys to know, like, because some people don't know that I'm taking a break. I just wanted to tell you that I'm okay. I'm working on myself right now. And I just want to let you know I love you guys with all my heart. And God bless you guys. And I will be back soon in 2 weeks. I just want to let you guys know that I'm okay. And I'm taking a break from social media right now. I'm working on myself. And stuff like that. So, like, I just want to let you guys know that I'm okay.
By January 2024, Shawty Bae had had enough of the drama. She announced a brief hiatus from social media, saying she needed some time away to focus on herself. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but true to form, she was back online in just a few days. Her fans had been waiting for her return, and the drama picked up right where it left off. But the real question is, why does Shawty Bae seem to thrive on this chaos? Is it for attention? Or is it just who she is now? Either way, she's definitely found a formula that works. After months of non-stop drama, heartbreak, and controversy, Shawty Bae made a shocking announcement. She was taking a break. One night out of nowhere, Shawty Bae posted a black screen video with a simple message.
Just remember that I love you, and I just want to tell you, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to start taking a break. I'm not going to go live a lot anymore, because I'm just tired of people saying stuff about me and this and that, this and that. I'm just tired of it, and I'm going to just start taking little breaks. I mean, I'm going to go live a little bit, maybe 30 minutes live, but I'm not going to go live that much anymore. I'm not going live that much anymore because people, it's too much. It gets to me, the comment, and I just can't take it anymore. I need time to myself and to do things that I love to do, and collabing with people and work. TikTok is not, guys, TikTok is not my job. My managers help me collab with businesses, and I do that for a living. I don't do nothing else. That's it. And people think my supporters give me money when they don't, but go off. I do other things to get money, but go off at yourself. But I should start selling my tokens.
I just need a break, y'all. Life is too much right now. The comment section exploded. People need to understand you have to have a strong head to be doing what you're doing. People are so harsh. That was rude, saying her supporters don't give her money when they gift her on the daily. Goes to show how ungrateful she is. Nobody, GAF, get off social media. Please don't come back. She's always running and hiding after she talks too much.
How you eat? I'm going tomorrow. There's nothing. Hey honey, you're okay? Yeah, I'm taking a break from social media. I just wanted you guys to know, like, because some people don't know that I'm taking a break. I just wanted to tell you that I'm okay. I'm working on myself right now. And I just want to let you know I love you guys with all my heart. And God bless you guys. And I will be back soon in 2 weeks. I just want to let you guys know that I'm okay. And I'm taking a break from social media right now. I'm working on myself and stuff like that. So like, I just want to let you guys know that because, yeah. So like, yeah guys, should I pull up where? Tomorrow the thing, somebody invited me to, it's not saying. Okay guys, I had to go. I love you.
Some fans were supportive, while others didn't believe it for a second. Several theories emerged about why Shawty Bae had suddenly decided to take a break. The first and most obvious was that the sheer amount of controversy had finally overwhelmed her. Over the past few months, she had been involved in multiple public breakups, feuds with other influencers, and increasing criticism from her own followers. Even for someone who thrives on attention, it seemed like the negativity was becoming too much. Another theory was that the backlash against her had reached a tipping point. Unlike in the past, when her fans mostly stood by her no matter what, people were beginning to turn against her. Many felt she was intentionally stirring up drama just to stay relevant, while others called her out for being toxic in her relationships.
Like, when it's Christmas time, matching pajamas, like matching for like Valentine's, like you know, that type of shit. Like, I would love to go like a spa day, me and you, like, let's go get our nails done. He can get clear nails, and I can get whatever color I want to get. Or I can get his favorite color on my nails, or like his initial, like his favorite color. Just kidding. my delusional dreams. Yep, you're right. That's my delusional dreams. Sorry. Hopefully one day.
Some of the top comments under her hiatus announcement said she needs therapy, not another live stream, and she's always the victim, kinda suspicious. The tone had shifted from blind support to genuine criticism, which might have made her reconsider her online presence. The final theory was that Shawty Bae's hiatus was nothing more than a calculated business move. Influencers often use brief disturbances to stir curiosity and make their comeback even more dramatic. Some fans suspected that she was planning a rebrand, launching a new content style, or simply building up hype. After all, Shawty Bae had always been a master at keeping people talking.
Welcome to Shawty's world. I'm so richness. Richness.
Despite promising to take an extended break, Shawty Bae's hiatus didn't last long. Less than 2 weeks after her emotional goodbye, she was back online like nothing had happened. She kicked off her return with her normal lifestyle, laughing as she told her fans, "I mean, y'all could really think she was gone? Never." As expected, the internet had mixed reactions. Many of her fans were thrilled, spamming the comments with messages like, "We missed her."
Ella tiene la chapa que parecen corazones. Cuando ella me lo mueve, ya no pienso en condones. Tiki back, tobi, tiki, tobi, 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 tiki back, tobi, tiki, tobi, 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 tiki back, tobi, tiki, tobi, 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 tiki magich, 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 tobi, tiki, tobi, tobi, tobi.
Others, however, felt betrayed. Some accused her of being manipulative, while others just found the whole situation ridiculous. One can ask, so the whole crying video is fake? Yes, but classic. Regardless of the backlash, her return video went viral. She made sure to make a statement with her first official comeback TikTok, complete with over-the-top editing, dramatic music, and a montage of her best moments. The caption, "Miss me?" Within hours, her post had millions of views, proving once again that no matter how controversial she was, people couldn't stop watching.
You know what we do here? Ooh.
This man.
I'm gonna prank you.
I'm running away.
No, we.
I don't give a fuck.
Shawty Bae's comeback wasn't just about posting new videos, it was a complete takeover. She immediately started going live again, interacting with fans and teasing big plans. She framed her return as a fresh start, claiming that she had taken time to reflect and was ready to move forward.
Can we just all agree that we miss Shawty Bae on our For You page instead of Miss Cockroach Astrobino? Please, like, Shawty Bae, please, just come back, my cuteness.
Never thought I'd agree to more Shawty Bae content. Shawty, if you can hear us, please save us. However, it didn't take long before she slipped back into old patterns. She quickly reignited feuds with some of her influencer rivals, revisited past relationship drama, and even made subtle digs at her exes. It became clear that while she might have taken a short break, nothing had really changed. Still, her strategy worked. Her follower count grew, her engagement skyrocketed, and even the people who claimed to be tired of her antics were still keeping tabs on her every move. Shawty Bae had once again managed to turn controversy into success. The big question remains, did Shawty Bae ever actually need a break? Or was it all just part of her ongoing strategy to dominate TikTok? At this point, the answer doesn't even matter because, love her or hate her, she's here to stay. The internet is no stranger to chaotic influencers. But few have mastered the art of controversy quite like Shawty Bae. From her rise on TikTok to her never-ending cycle of drama, she's built a brand on being unapologetically herself, flaws and all. Whether she's going viral for her over-the-top reactions, her messy relationships, or her unpredictable live streams, one thing is certain, people can't stop watching.
But go off at yourself, honey. And I'm ending this live, and that's all you need to hear from me. And stop talking about my friends before I bitch to that people. I don't give a bro. That's it. That's it, and bye.
But how did she get here? How did a seemingly ordinary girl from the Midwest transform into one of the most talked about figures on social media? Some say it's her charisma. Others believe it's her willingness to be completely unfiltered. And some argue she just knows how to stir up drama at the right time. Whatever the case, Shawty Bae has found a way to keep millions invested in her life, whether they love her or love to hate her. Because let's be real, Shawty Bae thrived attention. Would she really stay away for long? Love her or hate her, one thing's for sure. Shawty Bae is a force to be reckoned with in the world of TikTok. Her rise.
I've won! McFlurry? Or fruit bag? I wonder what we're going to choose there. Probably the fruit bag.
So you're probably all thinking why I'm reminiscing. And I don't know if it's clear yet, but I've decided to come off social media.
We live in a media landscape with TikTok celebrities like Ash Trevino, Matt and Abby, Shawty Bae, Amberlynn Reed, and many more who constantly spin from one controversy to another, digging deeper and deeper down the bottom of the barrel. And yet, there's still a lot of hate to spare for Becki Jones, one of the least controversial creators out there. Becki Jones is an online personality that most people got introduced to through several funny memes of her online. She's known for her constant back and forths with dieting and exercising, whilst also cooking and eating large meals. Apart from that, there really seems to be nothing else Becki does to warrant the amount of hate she gets online. The majority of her comments range from hate over her looks to hate over her accent, weight, content, and general lifestyle choices. And whilst people are usually allowed to have opinions on those things when you decide to be a content creator, you'll see that in Becki's case, it is far more extreme. So much more extreme, in fact, it allegedly caused her to quit TikTok altogether in a very complicated and sad story. So in this video, we're going to break it all down. Becki Jones comes from the northwest of England, specifically around the area of Cheshire and Liverpool. Such is the level of fame that Becki managed to achieve that even official publications like the Liverpool Echo has covered her multiple times, which we'll come to. Becki Jones actually went viral in 2020 when her 12-year-old niece encouraged her to make a TikTok video. Becki, who was around 29 or 30 years old at the time, came up with the brilliant idea to use a slow cooker for hot chocolate. The video went viral, with it now sitting at 11 million views and almost 8,000 comments. Regardless of how inoffensive the video was, it received a lot of attention from people who wanted to playfully troll her and her niece for their weight, and a lot of attention from people who wanted to seriously criticize her for overindulging in what they deemed to be unhealthy eating habits. And as a result of those hateful comments, there is also a good number of comments who pop up to show support to Becki and criticize the negative comments. Most comment sections found anywhere on the internet tend to be divisive, but in the case of Becki Jones, you get thousands of people fighting each other in the comments over her content, which you'll find to be mildly controversial at best. At the time, because Becki was so green as a popular celebrity, she made the fatal mistake of not just reading the majority of the negative comments, but also making a different video responding to them, where she appeared to be unbothered and showed her haters the middle finger.
Hi everyone. The video posted me and Paige doing hot chocolate, it got quite a lot of attention and loads of comments. So I literally had time last night after work to go through the comments, and there was so many nice comments. Thank you, and thank you for all the love, likes, follows, shares, whatever. But then there's comments like this, Like, it's a treat. Like, yeah, I'm overweight, but that's my problem. But if I want to post videos of me making hot chocolate with my 12-year-old niece, by the way, she's 12, I can. And sorry, I probably got hate for my hair on here because I'm just in the middle of doing it, but I thought I'd just take the time to thank everybody that left nice comments and shares and follows, and for the comments like this.
Almost everybody who uses the internet at this point knows that the very last thing a creator should do is validate the trolls by making a direct response to them. Doing that just informs them that you're bothered by them, and they're only going to double down now that they know it affects you. And secondly, Becki making a response like that, where she's showing the middle finger to all the hate, sends a bad signal to all the people who are criticizing her in good faith and looking to give her advice. A lot of people felt that she shouldn't be encouraging her 12-year-old niece to be having heavy meals and learning bad eating habits, regardless of whether or not that's what Becki was actually doing. Those criticisms could be genuine, and seeing it met with a middle finger suggests that Becki only really cares about positive feedback. But hey, like we said before, she was still very new to that sort of attention, and things only got worse from here. Becky Jones would go viral a couple of times over 2021 and 2022, and it would always be for the same reasons. Becki eagerly talking about the food she prepared and eats in a day, and people complaining about how it's way too much.
That's like stand time until I dare go real nice. Cause secret in my skin to your beating. Cause I just want to go.
This video was made a couple of months later in 2021, and the pattern is the same. Although there are a lot of vile comments about her weight and her eating habits on the video, most of the popular comments are those of people showing support to Becki and calling out the awful comments. Becki even acknowledges one of them in the replies. At Kaylee, some of these comments are vile. People need to be better. If you dislike it, why don't you just scroll up and watch something else? Becki responds saying, "It's always these videos people think they can comment awful things on." The positive feedback that Becki did get, however, meant that her followers are able to steadily rise into the hundreds of thousands. She even began to go viral as a meme. In 2022, she made an unintentionally funny video where she had a very different reaction to the McFlurry and the fruit bag.
I've won! McFlurry or fruit bag? I wonder what we're going to choose there. Probably the fruit bag. Right.
And again, just as the majority of the comments pointed out, most people would have picked the McFlurry. Nobody's really going to McDonald's for healthy eating anyway. It's one thing to not agree with Becki's eating habits. It's a whole other thing to constantly comment on her weight and shame her for what she eats, regardless of what it is. It's safe to say that at one point, over half of Becki's followers are just people who hate watch her. Sometimes these comments get taken down on TikTok, and they instead go on the site Tattlife to settle. For people who don't know, Tattlife is a social media site that's home to endless threads of celebrities filled with mostly negative comments. The site itself is not as niche as you might think. In 2021, over a 6-month period, they reportedly had over 43 million visits. Becki Jones is one of the worst victims of this, as she's got multiple threads on her with thousands of comments. Like this one, for example. "I can't with this girl. The faces she pulls in her video wind me right up. Posing looking straight into the camera whilst taking a video, it's so awkward and forced." These comments are from 2021, before she amassed most of the 1 million followers she has today. As a result, amongst the unreasonable hate over really small issues, there are still a few credible opinions buried in there at this point. Looking at this block of comments, you have, "Very soon, you will not be able to see her eyes due to all the extra fat on her face. OMG, I'm so happy to find this thread. She grinds my gears so much." Yet another very overweight person trying to normalize it and encourage young kids that it's fine. "It was the dance she did that made her camera wobble for me." Oh, and she says, after most words. To be fair, I feel a bit bad for her with all the comments she gets. Even on her calorie counting meals, she gets the "wow, treat day today again" comments. I wouldn't want her to go the other way and starve herself. She does seem to have a lot of cheat days if she's trying to lose weight, but also I don't think fat people simply existing and showing what they're eating is necessarily promoting obesity. Overweight people don't need to live in shame and misery in private until they lose enough weight to show their faces again. She's not telling people to binge eat until they're overweight, and she's not saying it's a healthy way of life. But anyone who buys a TikToker's merch needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. She's getting more views funds from the haters, so she's probably trying to spur them on. Fat people shouldn't have to hide, but she should be prepared for the backlash of declaring a diet, then having high-fat calorie treat meals most days. We all need to remember that the majority of TikTok viewers are teenagers. I'm so glad I found this thread. I've followed her videos for a while and found them oddly relaxing. It was lovely watching her grow in confidence, but now, IMO, she comes across cocky at times. The merchandise, the constant lives with her mod team, the Amazon wish list, making a cameo. I question the motives of people who tell her how beautiful she is. I think they're secretly laughing at her. I still think she's a nice girl though, and I hope the calorie counting goes well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'd do if I had a big following. If someone wanted to treat me to a new laptop or something, who am I to stop them? Don't think I could take myself seriously selling merch if all I did was show my meals. But personally, I'd rather donate to charity or someone like Nosebleed Fitz's transition fund than buy donuts for someone who can afford to go to ASDA and buy them herself. Technically, there's one or two real criticisms in there, so let's take a closer look at them. Now, one of the most prominent criticisms that Becki faces is that she glorifies her bad health and eating habits and then cries foul when someone brings it up. They claim that Becki pretty much invites the negative comments herself by making rage-bait content like this.
Why are you so chunky?
And then there's this one where all she does is point out the comments and dance. And another point of hate she gets is for her accent. Since she comes from the northwest of England, she appears to have a Scouse accent, as most people do who come from Liverpool or the surrounding area. The accent itself has been said to be hard to understand for anybody outside of Liverpool. But with Becki, they don't just give her hate for supposedly having the accent, but for faking it. A lot of people think she speaks the way she does on purpose to piss people off, and so she responds with videos like this.
I said what I said.
On the one hand, you could say that Becki can choose to respond to trolls whatever way she likes. It's her platform after all. But at the same time, you have to admit that these are not very effective responses. Almost all of these videos were posted in 2023, when she definitely would have gotten more of a handle on how to deal with the hate she gets, and as sweet as it may feel in the moment, making a video like that just signals to the trolls that you're ready for a war. A couple of these get incredibly cringe, to be perfectly fair, and that's another thing people regularly accuse Becki of being. Most of the time, though, she's just being herself, and for someone with high amounts of energy, that can always come off as cringe. But on some videos, it's undeniable, like this one, where she once again responds to her trolls by writing the insults that they throw at her on her face and doing a makeup transition where she cleans it off and glows up. That admittedly is a tad too intense. Writing fat and ugly on her own face is a little wild, you gotta admit. And she also posts videos like this, where she's letting everyone know how proud she is of her body, despite what anyone else might think. And it's easy to figure out that with a couple of these videos, Becki Jones is trying to convince herself more so than the trolls. The point she's trying to make with these videos is that all the hate and trolling that she receives doesn't affect her, but it quite clearly does.
It's about my weight gain. You know, people have been calling me Fatso, Chief Wiggum, Slimer,
Tugboat.
What else? Kinder Egg Surprise. Please stop laughing. It really upsets me.
And things really culminated in a video where she broke down crying, leaving a long note on screen. Online bullying is horrible. Hate pages, making fun of the way someone looks, horrible comments, mocking someone, fat shaming, making fun of certain body parts, constant reminders about not looking a certain way. Yes, I put myself on social media, but no one should go through the constant bullying. Starting to wonder why people like you don't just 95 for eating what you want, making you feel ugly, the constant comments, people making you feel like rubbish. I'm stronger than what I thought. I do care what people think, but not everyone in my life is going to like you. Thank you to my beautiful followers for all your support. My content will not change. I will always post my food and treat videos. I'm me. I will never ever change for anyone to fit into what people think I should be. Let's keep supporting each other. We all have down days, but I'm going to get back up and keep on going. This right here is as sad as it gets, because whether or not the hate comments come from people who just want to pick on her for her weight or people who are genuinely concerned about her health, it should never get to the point where it's negatively affecting her mental health. As much as we can say her content is cringe or rage bait fishing for negative attention, she very clearly doesn't want any and just wants to eat what she likes in peace. She's obviously a very enthusiastic person who gives most people the benefit of the doubt and was likely expecting it in return when she blew up on TikTok. But the internet is indeed a cruel, cruel place, especially for a plus-sized influencer who makes content primarily about what she eats. But before we decide that all of the criticism against her in this vein is nonsense, it's finally time we take a closer look at the food that Becki eats. Besides Becki's attempt to troll the trollers, a lot of people describe videos where she passionately talks about food as rage bait simply because of her weight.
Obsessed with you? Yes. Yes, I am.
The first thing to note about Becki Jones is that she has, or at least had, an unhealthy obsession with McDonald's. She does a lot of takeaway meals, which we'll get to in a second, but half the time it's just McDonald's, and everybody knows how unhealthy their meals can be. For breakfast, she can sometimes have 2 hash browns with a double sausage and egg McMuffin with sour cream dip and a side of Coke. Then, on some evenings, she also orders takeaways from McDonald's to the tune of a quarter pounder with cheeseburger, or sometimes a double quarter pounder with the side of fries and a Coke. Now, we've made it clear several times that Becki Jones, as an adult, should have the privilege of eating whatever she wants without needing to fend off hate comments. But it would be wrong of us to not admit that she does have a reckless eating habit. It's nobody's business, but it is reckless. And if you decide to build your content around food and precisely what you eat in a day, then it's not totally unreasonable that she gets comments on that specific issue. As we've seen and will still see, a lot of the comments she receives aren't reasonable and they do hate on her regardless of what or how much she eats. But we're gonna try and give her a fair assessment. A lot of the examples people have of Becki eating too much is really when they feel like she's having a larger portion of food than she needs to, rather than the food itself not being healthy enough. Like when she toasted a waffle and put M&Ms and chocolate chips on it.
Tonight, and I'm going to have a waffle. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it with these and some cream. So I hope you enjoy. You just want to put your waffles in a toaster, like so. 3, 2, 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the Hershey sauce on first. This is amazing, by the way, everyone. Gonna get my M&Ms. I also love this little clip to your bag. So cute. A little spoon. And then I'm gonna get some squirty cream. Don't come at me, guys. This is a treat. Again. Just top off with some dark chocolate chips.
The hate Becki received over this video wasn't because they didn't like the meal she prepared, but because they thought she shouldn't be having 2 of them. Same thing applies to her What I Eat in a Day videos, where people feel she either has too many meals or treats herself to too many snacks.
Welcome to my What I Eat in a Day. For breakfast, I went to the OK Diner. Now, I know this is an American diner, but I had a full English. It just felt like something cooked, not pancakes. I know pancakes are cooked, but, you know. Anyway, it was so good. I got sausages, mushrooms, scrambled egg, fried toast, tomato. It was honestly the best. I then had some of my little kisses. And for tea, I had a barbecue. You cannot beat barbecue weather. And yesterday on my video, I said it's a lot cooler today. Oh my gosh, I regret saying that. It was so bloody warm. But I had lamb kebab, had burger, halloumi, chicken, Chinese-style maple chops. Everything was just so yummy. And then a bit later on, I had a Milky Way crispy roll. And then after that, I was watching some telly and I had one of these sticky toffee loaf cakes. These are from M&S and oh.
The truth is, we all have different eating habits. So the things Becki eats will definitely be seen as too much for some people. She seems to have a snack for every activity she's doing. And the reason why anyone feels the need to leave comments on her videos pointing it out is because of her weight, and that's a valid concern. Becki has herself admitted to being overweight on multiple occasions, and as a result, she's tried a couple of different things in order to get fit. Becki Jones trying to get fit has probably been the one thing that frustrates her detractors the most. She tends to go on a cycle where she starts to exercise, goes to the gym, starts a diet, then just pivots back to eating as much food as she did before. Now, exercising without going into a calorie deficit is still a very healthy thing to do. It does have its benefits, if not physically, then at the very least mentally. But if the aim is to lose some of that weight, as she's implied it is, then even just a tiny bit stricter diet is required. To give one instance, people thought she was having too many treats and heavy calories on her literal first day at the gym.
So it was my first time at the gym today. So before I went, I had a croissant with some Biscoff inside and a banana and a lovely cup of tea. Then after the gym and swimming, I went and got a meal deal from Tesco's. I got this barbecue chicken, bacon and cheese sandwich and some, I think they're called, baked Walkers. And I got a cherry Pepsi Max as well. Don't ask me why I look like my shoulders are like a quarterback, as people would say.
Just in general, Becki Jones has a tendency to randomly post a video like this. And that gets people excited that she's about to go in a new direction. Some people even begin to expect her to change her content and start doing fitness updates instead. But as we've heard her say before, that's never going to happen. And the very next day, she's having McDonald's for breakfast and a takeaway dinner. Like we said before, her will to exercise at all in the first place is commendable, and exercising isn't only good for weight loss. So if this is how she feels comfortable doing it, then so be it. Becki also enjoys going on walks through the woods whenever she can. Sometimes once a week, sometimes once in 2 weeks, sometimes less. It's obviously a good cardio workout and she benefits from it. She'd said in the past that she tried running or jogging instead of walking, but she doesn't like it because she gets too self-conscious about running in public, which is completely understandable. She also does some home workout sessions, usually 10 to 20 minutes long. She uploads them sped up, which does make them look funny, but it still looks like a real workout.
Is that Becki Jones doing a Joe Wicks HIIT workout? You are absolutely correct. Although I did only start off with this morning. I woke up and thought, right, I want to do a workout today. Double workout. Because I also go on a walk a bit later on too. But I started this Joe Wicks one. It was a cardio HIIT. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh my gosh. It upped my levels. I went on the floor. To be fair, I didn't struggle as much as what I thought I would. I actually really enjoyed it, but I could only manage around 12 minutes of it. And then I went back to Grow with Joe after I did these. Just for another cardio workout, just a little bit easier. But it honestly was so good for me this morning, getting up that little bit earlier, fitting in this and then fitting in a walk as well.
Then Becki got into some real controversy for a change when she made an announcement in August 2024 that she intends to get a gastric sleeve surgery.
Everyone, so I've got some very exciting news, but to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous to tell you all about. So before I go into any detail, I understand that people will have their own opinions and views on what I'm about to tell you, so please try and be kind and understanding. So since the beginning of my TikTok journey, I've always told people to embrace their imperfections. I do, and I always will stand by that. No matter what shape or size you are, you should always love yourself. So, I am very excited. I have kindly been given the opportunity with Prime Health Concept to have a gastric sleeve. Now, do not think that I jumped to this decision. They contacted me and I was a little bit back and forth with it. I've had like a point of contact who's absolutely lovely to talk to and has been helping me with all my issues and everything like that.
She says she feels a little hypocritical about getting this surgery when she herself has been such a loud voice for body positivity, but she worries about health concerns and not being able to take care of her elderly loved ones. She also says that the surgery won't change anything about her love for food and the type of content that she posts.
And like, to be honest, I do feel hypocritical because I feel like I've always been against it in my own opinion. I feel like I was always kind of against it for myself, not for anybody else or anybody else's choice that has had one. Like, I am not doing this for any of the haters out there or anybody that calls me, you know, fat or anything like that. I'm truly doing this for myself. And, you know, over the last few months, I've realised that I cannot please everybody. I really can't. And people will always have this assumption of you. And so the reason that I've like come to the decision to have it is I was thinking of the future, and you know, I've got no health conditions at the moment, you know, touch wood, how my weight, just my weight, not my health, could impact, you know, me looking after my dad and just stuff like that, like having children. But by no means am I saying if you're overweight you won't be able to do this stuff. I'm just thinking about myself and how it may impact me. But by no means will my content change. It won't go anywhere. I will still be able to do my what you eat in a days. I'll still be able to do my cook with me. I'll still be able to do get readies with me, day in the life. And my page will not change to me being a weight loss page at all. It will not be me wanting to perfect my body.
Now, this is absolutely enormous news. If anybody weren't sure that Becky Jones is in fact trying to lose weight, this confirmed it. A gastric sleeve surgery majorly entails making her stomach smaller in the hopes of reducing her calorie intake and limiting the amount of food that her body craves. A smaller stomach means you don't have to eat much to get full. It is very permanent though, so it locks you into a strict diet for life. So with that in mind, the question on everybody's mind was why she wouldn't first try to commit to a calorie deficit before making such a huge change. It seemed counterintuitive that she would commit to a life-altering surgery before she would commit to a diet, especially since she already does some sort of cardio workout, and she surely would lose weight if she stayed consistent on a diet. Not to mention that it's a surgery that has a lot of mixed reviews, so it's definitely a much rougher road to go down, and a lot of the comments were quick to point this out without sounding too mean-spirited. Genuine question, what made you not want to try a calorie deficit firstly? I had a bypass, but let me tell you, it's a tool, not a fix. Diet has to change. I paid $3,000 for my gastric sleeve in Turkey. I just really hope you've researched this. No more kebabs and fizzy pop 100%. No hate, and I'm really happy for you. I am curious though, what made you decide to go down the gastric sleeve option over giving PT calorie deficit a go? The diet is so strict or after, like soups, and very small portions. Once it's done, it's done. There's no reversal for a sleeve. Best thing I have ever done, but it's not a quick fix. You're making a commitment to adjust your portions for life. This wasn't a backlash. This was just a bunch of people warning Becky about the decision she was about to make and at least making her reconsider. She was, after all, gifted with this opportunity, so good question is whether or not she would consider doing this if it wasn't offered to her. Regardless, since Becky is a real woman of the people, soon after, she announced that she's heard everyone's concerns and that she's paused her plans to go through with the surgery, or at least for now.
Hi everyone, hope you're all okay. So I thought I would just do a quick little video on this Saturday night, just because I've seen quite a lot of videos, obviously a lot of comments regarding my recent post about my exciting news. Now, I never want my page to be just consumed of weight loss or surgery. And after taking everything on board that everybody said, whether you're a supporter or whether you're a hater, I've decided that I am not in the right mindset to have surgery now. But by no means does that mean that I'm not still considering it. I am going to be trying alternative ways, but please don't think that Monday I'm going to be like, right, I'm on a calorie deficit. It takes a lot to obviously change your diet and become healthier. And I have been trying to do other things such as exercise, my workouts, my walks. So please don't think that I'm ever being ignorant to that I'm fat. But I've spoke to the company and they've been absolutely brilliant, and they've said that I can take as much time as I need to obviously be mentally prepared for it. And I'm not saying that I'm going to wait a few months, just read a few things and then have it. I have really listened to a lot of the comments and a lot of messages that I've had, and I am thinking more of the after side of it. And I know in my head and in my heart that I am not ready for it yet. But like I said, I'm not ruling it out. It's still a possibility, but I'm going to try alternative ways and introduce things slowly. And I'm just so grateful for all the love and also all the support. And I hope that you all understand, and I'm so sorry for doing this big announcement. You know, we all rush into things, we all make mistakes, and I'm not saying it's a mistake, but we all think that something's right for us and then maybe it's not, and change our minds, and it's absolutely fine to change your mind. And I just think having, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to think about it, because at the end of the day it's my body and it's for me, so I need to just think about it. I need to do a lot of research, I need to try alternative ways. I agree with everything everybody was saying, and if I do choose to have it, I've done it for me. So please don't think that I've just ruled it out completely because I've had a few comments that have said, you know, not to have it. I am just thinking about me, and I'm going to be doing a lot of research about it. But I hope that you all understand that and are all clear on it, because I just don't want my page to be consumed of weight loss or surgery. And if I do go on a calorie deficit, or if I do introduce a diet or anything, it will just be incorporated into my videos. It's not going to be a weigh-in or a big thing, you know, about losing weight, because I never want my page to become that. And it's no disrespect to anybody that does any videos like that. It's just I don't want my page to be like that. So it's not a no, I'm not having surgery. It's not a yes, I'm going for surgery. It's I need to think, I need to be prepared, and I need to try other things as well. So I hope that you all understand that, and I hope that you're having a great Saturday. Love you all.
And the response in the comments were once again supportive with constructive advice, although there were 1 or 2 troll comments, of course. I've lost 10 stone through a deficit. If you want help and advice, I'm genuinely more than happy to help you. Just some friendly advice and check-ins. It's definitely better to try naturally. This is literally the best decision. Food is also an addiction. Conquer the mental side first. Gastric sleeve surgery was one of the best decisions I ever made. I was 20 stone and lost 9 stone in under a year, and now maintaining. It's a year this month and wish I'd done it sooner. It's harder to find the right time to go into a calorie deficit because it's not a fun thing, and there'll never be a good time. Just need to go for it, and you'll be so happy when the hard work pays off. And so with that comes the end of the health arc, and at this point, even though she was increasingly being stressed out by all the negative comments she gets, her followers continued to rise, and she hit 800,000 in September. And with the fame comes the pressures of fame, which is why in December of 2024, in an interview with the Liverpool Echo, she described herself as the most hated woman on TikTok. She said, "It does feel like that sometimes, that I'm the most hated woman on TikTok. It's something that goes hand in hand with your account growing. I remember uploading a video of a takeaway I'd eaten, or of me baking, and it was something that was unhealthy, a treat, and every comment was disgusting. I sat and thought to myself, why do they hate me so much just for eating? I accept people's opinions, but I think people nowadays feel that they're entitled to too much of an opinion. I think it's made me develop a thick skin. I did a video the other day talking about the hate I get, and I said I'm used to it, and it is sad to say, it's built me up to be more resilient. People's opinions are important, but I don't care as much anymore. I would love to sit down and ask the trolls why they do it. I don't know if I was an easier target. I've never denied that I'm plus size or fat or said I've got the best diet, but there are other people on TikTok that do similar content but don't get the same hate. People don't like the way I speak, my accent, the way I film stuff. I would say the people writing stuff are very unhappy in their own lives to be hating on someone else. Now, that's obviously really sad. The fact that she's had to develop a thicker skin in order to exist on the internet is quite unfortunate. The TikTok comments are bad enough, but you wonder what her reaction would be reading the tens of thousands of comments on her on that Tattle Life thread we went over earlier. Yet one thing we need to mention is that this has been an incredibly lucrative thing for Becki. She's got 1 million followers at this point. She's networked with other creators and traveled around the world to Germany, Italy, and so on. None of that would have happened without her TikTok and admittedly her haters. And this is something Becki points out in her interview. It's so crazy, especially this last year. I've noticed some of the impact of having so many followers. And just going to Morrison's, I get people coming up to me and asking for a picture. I love it. There are places sometimes when I'm at a concert and it gets a bit busier, and I wouldn't be in the position I'm in without these people. There is some negativity and some hate, but I think the love and support outweighs it. Some of that support comes in the form of the Welsh Five, a group of TikTokers primarily based in Wales who make similar content to Becki. They consist primarily of Corey, Leah, Charlie, Kane, and Luan. Becki seemed to have become really good friends with them at some point during their rise, particularly Leah, Corey, and Charlie. They got together often and did collabs on TikTok challenges and dances. If that type of content's your cup of tea, then go give them a follow. The Welsh Five is infinitely more controversial than Becky Jones, and some people do worry that they could be a bad influence on her. One thing's for sure, though, most of Becky Jones' weirdest videos have been with the Welsh Five.
I want you out. Go! Wobble! Wobble! Pack your bags and go! Wobble! The jelly hasn't said. Wobble! Got me grazie wet. Just get out, will ya? Go! Wobble! Wobble! Jelly shouldn't run.
See, Becky never makes videos like that when she's on her own. But on a more serious note, the Welsh Five has helped Becky reach new heights. They've traveled together to several places and even went on a cruise together. Some rumors started to fly that some members don't like Becky Jones, so we'll take a look at the evidence. First off, it's easy enough to say that Becky is much closer to Corey, Leah, and Charlie than she is to Kane and Luan. Corey and Leah are a couple and they're currently expecting a baby together. A lot of rumors started up about Corey having a thing with Becky. There's absolutely nothing behind these rumors besides some really cringe AI videos. They all found these videos to be funny and none of them took it seriously. Becky's response was a playful video where she basically says Leah's her favorite Welsh Five member, not Corey.
I don't wanna live a la la la. Should tell my boyfriend what I've been doing. Been thinking of you. Every time I scroll through.
That seemed to be the end of that, or at least so we thought. In the meantime, Kane, Luan, and Charlie went on a podcast and they talked about a whole bunch of stuff, including Becky Jones. The Welsh Five went on a trip to the States, and Becky, who's really close to them at this point, wasn't invited. And so they asked why that was, and they seemed to scramble to come up with a response.
Yeah. And Kane, obviously. Yeah. She is on the go. Why was Becky not in the Welsh Five? I mean, I know she's not Welsh, but...
I think it's just because we booked it, and then you just like, I'm coming.
And then because like Chris and all were there as well, like it was like the other friends.
Wasn't she in Berlin as well, or something like that? I'm pretty sure she was also in Berlin. As you can tell, I'm really into your guys' content.
At the end of it, it seemed like the interviewer had to answer the question for them there. But this obviously doesn't prove that any of them have a problem with Becky. They likely had different schedules, so they did different trips. But people online went crazy with this, and they started to analyze their body language to prove that they didn't like Becky.
Or something like that. I'm pretty sure she was also in Berlin. As you can tell, I'm really into your guys' content. The Becky Jones law. I know. But I feel like a lot of people for her like fake things, because I've seen this thing recently with screenshots about this ticket thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, it's like someone's said that she's going to the Brits and made these screenshots, and she's obviously like, what on earth is going on?
I don't know what's happening.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I don't know, bless her.
The fans go feral for Becky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She is amazing.
She is. She's the cutest person on earth, but she's the cutest person on earth, but I just hate the fact that she gets so much hate.
I know, and I just feel like it must be hard with that, because you're just trying to get on with your daily life, and she makes so many people happy. But even the song...
Now, that's obviously quite a stretch, but admittedly, a lot of fans prior to this have suspected that Charlie might not like Becky. But this is the point where Becky Jones sadly announced that she would be quitting TikTok to focus on her mental health. On the 14th of March, she posted a 5-minute video where she explained that she's been struggling with the hate comments since the moment she did that hot chocolate video in 2020, how she managed to overcome it for a while but can't keep dealing with it.
So you're probably all thinking why I'm reminiscing, and I don't know if it's clear yet, but I've decided to come off social media, and I don't want you to think that this decision was made lightly or that I'm not grateful for anyone's support, because I'm so grateful for the following that I've got and what I've built up and what we've built up. Sorry, I told myself I wasn't going to get upset. But the last few days I've been reminiscing and I've been reflecting, and it's just not good for my mental health anymore. It's really affected me, and I think deep down it has for a while now. And although I love it, I love all of you, I love posting, whether it's a silly video or whether it's, you know, a recipe, it's just, this app is just full of so much negativity. And I think I've always brushed it off and said, you know, you can't let other people bring you down, but they do get you down. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to say, you know, it has got to me. But I don't want you to think that I'm like upset, or, well, I am upset and I am sad, but this will pass. And I think it's the right decision for me that I've made. You know, I've come to this decision because, you know, who wants that affecting their life? Who wants that affecting their mental health? And I just want to become the best version of myself for myself. And I want to put me first. I have a loving family. I have amazing friends. And I just want to start setting realistic goals for my future. And like I've said in this video, you know, I've been back and forth. Do I take a longer break? Do I, you know, do I carry on? And, you know, because you do make me happy. All of you that support and love me, you do make me happy. And I have, you know, I was thinking, do I just hang on in there? Do I just carry on doing it? After a break, it's always good for the first, you know, couple of weeks, and you feel refreshed, you feel, you know, you get back to your posting, but then it just hits you again. And I don't want to have to wait for that again. And, you know, even though I'm okay, I'm fine, I just want to put myself and my mental health first. And I just think being a TikToker isn't doing that for myself anymore. But I am honestly so grateful for all the love, for all the support, for everything that you've all given me in the last 5 years. I am so grateful for it, and I will never forget it, and I will never regret this time of my life.
This news was met with a collective heartbreak on the internet, including almost all members of the Welsh Five. In fact, Luan and Charlie were in the comments on that video giving their best wishes to Becki. Corey, on the other hand, had a much more bizarre response that was more distracting than it was comforting. He too made a long video where his primary focus was on the online rumor about him and Becki having a thing. He claims the trolling has found its way to their elder relatives and is increasingly hard to explain. He then clarified that he and Becki have no such relationship between them.
This will be the final time I address or explain myself on social media. I've written down what I want to say on notes because I'm not very good with words. We've been friends with Becki Jones for quite some time through social media, long before we met. Since becoming friends with her, the trolls have been relentless, from rumours that I'm having an affair with her, which I've never addressed. Originally we laughed, but as time went on and more accounts were making videos, some of mine and Leah's family members who are older and don't use social media heard these rumours and genuinely believed them. It's obviously not nice having to explain to our family what trolls are and what's been happening on here. Since becoming friends with Becki, she's been nothing but supportive and lovely to both me and Leah, and has been respectful to both of us throughout our relationship. Becki has been tormented on social media relentlessly for years, but more so since becoming friends with us. I genuinely believe the reason why is because the trolls don't want her to have friends. I have defended Becki every way possible and have supported her on and off social media. As you know, Becki has left social media for her mental health, which I support her decision and agree with, as she's had a rough few last months. I feel as though it's my duty to defend Becki because as far as I've seen, no one else has up until now when she's decided to leave. And Becki is one of the most genuinely lovely people I've ever met. If you see Becki out and about, please let her be. Give her some time to find some peace and feel better. The last thing she needs is people taking photos of her. The last few days I've seen videos of clips on my FYP from my live stream that has been edited to make it look like I've said Becki is returning to social media. That is completely false. Becki has no intention on returning to social media. However, if and when she feels better, I truly hope she does return, as this app once made her happy and it was her full-time income. But for her mental health, it's much more important, which shows the type of person that Becki is. I will no longer be going live on my platform and will no longer be addressing any comments about Becki. We will continue our friendship off of social media unless Becki ever decides to come back. Me and Leah are expecting a baby. We have work trips booked in America, which is something that we should be looking forward to, as this is two massive milestones in our life. But it's been tainted due to so much nastiness on this app. On top of this, we are worried about our friend. Leah is pregnant and has taken every piece of advice offered by the midwife, so there is no need to give your unsolicited advice about her health and what.
This video has now been deleted by Corey, and it's probably the right move. The video was focused on the trolling he was receiving at a charity he wanted donations for. It's nothing too bad, it's just severely out of touch. Thankfully, we're not here to cover the Welsh Five. It's hard to admit it, but this is one situation where the trolls really did succeed in managing to get Becky Jones to quit. That would be the easy conclusion, but the truth is that Becky never truly developed that thick skin that she was talking about in her interview. One could argue that she was never truly built for the brutal reality of being a TikTok star. Almost every social media influencer gets a microscope put on them, and they get battered daily for their lifestyle, choices, and actions. You need a certain degree of selfishness, ego, ignorance, and toxicity to survive as a social media personality. And the biggest compliment anybody can give to Becky Jones is that she doesn't have any of those qualities.